Hello, everybody. Pop culture curator here. So good to see you again. I've been out of the loop here for a little while, a little over a week. I sincerely apologize for that, but I think we'll have a good time tonight. I'll do my best to make up for the time lost. Oh, looks like Sci-Fi Sit Dan. Hello, Sci-Fi Sit Dan.
Hey, Pop. So,
Good to
how
see
you
you.
doing?
Hanging in there. Could be worse. Working on getting better. So I'm lucky I have a voice today. Wait till you guys find out why. It's going to be an interesting little story. But at least now I know what to do. Next time I don't have a voice for streaming. But I wanted to say thank you everybody in the chat for patiently waiting. I know you guys have been here since early on, and I really do appreciate that. And I'll get caught up here as soon as possible. First, I want to say hello to my good friends on the panel, and I'll start with PvP. PvP, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. I got lots of stuff to do still. I got the cable guy coming over tomorrow afternoon to bring a new modem over finally, and it's about time I got a new modem because my old one is becoming unreliable since my internet goes away at times. So it'll be good once that's done
Well,
tomorrow afternoon.
I'm glad to hear that, and I heard you also got a new ink cartridge muncher, so that should keep you busy for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, I actually went and got instead of an HP, which didn't I couldn't download the drivers when I tried that like a week ago. Yesterday, I went and I picked up a little Canon for around the same price, $100, and I plugged everything in this morning, and it worked like a charm. I printed out a couple of things I really needed to get printed today, so oh, I'm
Nice.
a happy camper. Yeah, it was really nice and sharp and clear. Good, solid black ink. Yeah, so it's looking really good so far. So, yeah, I'm relieved. Very relieved.
Well, I assure you the Canon Corporation appreciates your patronage.
Well, the weird thing was when I got my first computer like 25 years ago now, I guess it is. It was the first printer I actually had was a Canon. So I guess it's kind of come full circle in a weird way.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're made by Canon anymore. It's probably some third-party company and they still have the label on it.
Yeah, it said on the back of the machine it's made in Vietnam. So I think that's at least one step
Yeah,
up from China. So,
yeah,
yeah,
you can always hope, right?
yeah, exactly.
Stone Racket, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad. I have a very reliable modem.
Always a good thing. Always a good thing.
Yeah, that when PvP was talking about his modem issues, it reminded me of when I had a very old modem and without informing me, my internet provider uh, updated everything so that the modem I had was completely outmoded and I had no internet service at all.
Oh no.
And so I had to get on the horn and go, what's going on here? And oh, you need a new modem.
How
We need to
kind of
send a
them, right?
we need to send a technician out. And it was kind of strange because I think I talked to two different people, and one person had set up a appointment for a technician to come out, and the other actually shipped the new modem to me, and it arrived the very next day. And so I walked down to the UPS depot and picked it up and got it installed, and everything was working, but it wasn't at the speed that they told me it would be. And I was getting the old internet speed that I had with my previous modem, but once the appointment rolled around, I got this phone call, and it was the technician, and he was working on updating stuff at I guess we could say the junction box in my area, and I just told him, well, I have this new modem. I installed it over the weekend, and he's like, what? Well, I thought I was going to be doing that. And I said,
Get
well,
with
no,
it.
I got everything here going. I just don't have the download speed. He goes, well, he says, reboot your modem here. Give me 5 minutes and then reboot your modem, and then I'll call you back and see if everything's working. And so he didn't. It ended up he didn't even need to come out to do anything at my condo.
Good.
So and everything's been running smooth ever since.
That's great. That's great. Sci-Fi Sit Down, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, pretty good. I just finished up my live stream I usually do on Saturday about 20 minutes ago.
Sorry I wasn't able to be there. I was, to be frank, sleeping up until about a half hour ago. And then I had to do a few things. But I'll try to make it forward next time, I promise.
Pop, did you let Gorilla know that the link is on Twitch, or are you gonna put a link in the chat as well?
I don't need to. I don't need to for him. He's my co-producer, so whenever I have streams, he knows to come in. He gets a notification in Twitch.
Just making sure he knows.
What is it, Saturday? I wonder if he might have the kids this weekend. Very likely.
I know he was doing this movie review, Shawshank Redemption, about 2.5 hours ago as well. So I don't know if that's over yet, or what's going on there on Gorilla's channel. But
and I hadn't posted the link yet at that point. I was even late doing that. But I can send a link to him just to make sure that he knows, that he's aware that it's going on. Everybody's getting so used to me not having streams anymore. I don't blame them. All right, let me post this.
oh, Gorilla's in the chat actually.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay. Hey, old Gorilla, good to see you, buddy. Then I'll bypass that. No need to send the link to him. He knows how to get here.
Maybe he's in backstage already.
Well, it's an open chat. I can send the link to everybody and pin it. Let me see here.
Yeah, he said to Sith Dan, I've got backdoor access. I'm trying to find supper, and I got to go yell at Warner Brothers.
Oh, not again.
They must have taken his Walton stream down that we did yesterday.
Yeah, that's pretty fast. They moved on that one quick.
Wow. We didn't even say nothing. We didn't even say nothing naughty yesterday on the stream. We were good boys.
What do you guys think
copyright.
happened? Do you think it was showing clips that were too long or too many clips or what?
Yeah, Gorilla did show quite a few clips yesterday because it was the first episode of season 3, which was a 2-parter. So It was like a 90-minute episode in total. So we went over 2 hours. We were about 2 hours and 15 minutes yesterday. So Gorilla did end up showing quite a lot of clips, which I think is probably the cause. Yeah.
They're probably getting to where they're keeping an eye on him every week whenever he streams, so they could strike it as soon as he premieres.
Actually, Pop, he says here Shawshank got yanked down 50 minutes in, so they didn't even finish their review, and they got pulled like before they even finished. Wow.
Were you guys there for it?
I wasn't. I was too busy.
I'm curious if they pulled it down midstream and shut the whole stream down, or did they let him finish and then yank it down? I don't know.
Well, he says got yanked down 50 minutes in, so I imagine that was like 50 minutes in the review, and then it got pulled midstream. Yeah. Wow.
Was it on YouTube only, or was it on StreamYards as well?
It would have been on YouTube because it was a review, so everybody would have had to watch it on their own, right, with their own source. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. They were just reviewing it. They weren't even showing, running the movie at all. So that's really odd.
So he
Yeah,
wasn't
'cause
showing any clips.
I doubt it. I mean, if it was anything, it would have been probably just stills. But I mean, I wasn't there, so I really don't know. You'd have to ask Gorilla, I guess.
the reason why is because I did pop in on his live stream a few times, and from what I saw on YouTube, the stream was unable to connect or something about that, or the stream was disabled on YouTube.
That's
What they
probably
said.
after Warner Brothers shut it down.
That sounds like YouTube shenanigans.
Well, if a copyright holder doesn't like a stream, they can pull it midway through the live stream and
Yep.
you'll just get a notice that that this is not available or whatever.
Yep. I remember
Hey,
that happened.
Gorilla's here anyway, so he could probably tell us the dirty
Hail
details.
gorillas. What's up with you, Gorilla? Tell us what's going on.
Oh, they blocked it. They blocked my whole thing for a minute 35, an hour and 35 minutes.
An hour and 35 minutes? That's almost the whole movie.
No, at 1 hour and 35 minutes into the live stream.
Oh, so they blocked how much then at 1 hour and 35 minutes?
Well, they blocked the whole damn thing. The whole video got yanked. So I got to fight this year, and I got to figure out what exactly did they copyright claim.
Jeez, what assholes. And I don't know. I'm sorry I didn't make it for the stream there, Gorilla.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which camp are you in on that, Pops? Do you like the movie or do you not like the movie usually?
Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah, which camp are you in?
Outside camp. I don't like the movie at all.
I'm with you, Pop. I think it's the most overrated piece of tripe of that particular decade. It's a manipulative, I don't know.
Cliche.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It's just, to me, it was just obvious and insulting. But that's just me.
Yeah, I've never
Well,
seen
I
it.
like
Yeah,
It
my
makes for great-
coworkers, one of my coworkers, he was one of my supervisors. He was like, "Oh, that movie, it's so awesome," and he's like that. Of course, he says the Porky's is the funniest movie ever made. So I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Sorry. I will admit and give credit where credit is due. Porky's was funny the year it came out, but then the comedy got really, really super fast.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. I don't know what happened. I'm just gonna run and I'm just gonna
No
run and do
problem.
I gotta put my laundry in the dryer anyway, so I'll be back in about 5 or 10.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it's don't hit the red X that says leave studio. Hit the microphone that says mute.
I know. I don't know what happened. I was going to type, be right back in the private chat, which I started to do, and then all of a sudden I'm kicked out. So I don't know what the heck happened there. That was really strange.
You need a new computer as well as a new modem.
No. This computer's only 3 years old and it's a gaming machine, so it's pretty high powered.
PvP, I got a question for you. Do you got one of those mouses with the button on the side?
I got what?
Do you have one of those mouses with the button on the side?
Nope.
Oh, then you need a new computer.
Okay, I'll be back in 5 or 10.
$100 later, yeah. No, that's not cool. But for me, it's the sum of its parts. First of all, I'm not a fan of Stephen King. I think he peddles to the lowest common denominator. I think his writing is very juvenile. High school, like somebody in 10th grade, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I agree.
And that movie would make a great drinking game where every time they show a cliche, you take a swig. And you would be drunk 10 minutes within the movie.
Yeah.
And I think the part that Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pop. It's fine.
I was just going to say the part that I could stand the least, the absolute least, was the Birdman from Alcatraz ripoff. It was like, hush up, Pooch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I like James Whitmore, and I thought that part was very beneath him.
Yeah. What's upsetting your dog?
I just fed them before the stream started, so there's a little competition going on.
Oh,
So sorry about that. Hush up.
that's okay. That's okay. I was just wondering what they were growling at. I guess they're just growling at each other.
Yeah, I should have fed them earlier, but I didn't get a chance to.
Is there feeding bowls in each other's area of the room, or are they fighting over one bowl of food right now?
They've been trained to stand in line. I live in a one-bedroom studio, you could say, so I don't have room to give them all their luxurious room that they'd like to have. So, and they're smart, they're poodles. So, yeah, they know to wait in line. But did you get good viewership on that before they yanked it, Gorilla? Hopefully, at least. Maybe not.
Gorilla is away from his mic right now.
Gorilla is away
Yeah.
from the mic, yes. That's fine.
Stephen King even admitted that his books are like Big Macs. So
Yeah, I would agree.
yeah, I was reading his
excuse me.
back in the day when I was in grad school. I was reading It, and I just got sick and tired of the you know, he keeps going back to you know, whatever evil entity he has. It always goes back to The Exorcist with you know, Reagan spouting a bunch of obscenities, and he always has his evil entity or whatever it may be spouting obscenities. And I just said, this is just the same old crap. It's like, you know, like a 12-year-old that's discovered swear words. And I just stopped reading it, and I just said, okay, I've had enough. I haven't been back to Stephen King since. And absolute silence.
Oops, sorry about that. I had to shut my
No,
dogs up for a minute.
That's okay. I was expecting
I-
Sci-Fi Sith Dan to jump in
But I told-
and with a counter argument or something.
Well, I haven't seen a Shaw thing different. So, in my opinion, I have none on.
What about it?
I haven't seen the movie either.
Yeah,
Well,
there was
just to show you
there's
that-
actually a made-for-television version
Yes.
of that. It was like, I think, a two-parter or something like that. And it had, all I remember is it had Annette O'Toole, and
Yes.
she's the one with the best aim with a slingshot, and she kills the big spider with the bright lights under its belly.
Oh, all the cliches, right? Girl power.
And I think they had to fire something silver at it, you know. So it's like, okay, been there, done that.
Yeah, and just you know, what goes to show you is his stuff does not stand the test of time, because every time they made the movie, like they made the TV movie, they had to update the monsters because he was showing Exorcist, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and stuff like that. And they said, well, nobody knows what this crap is.
Yeah.
So they
And what's-
updated it for the TV movie, and then they did it
Yeah.
again for the movies.
Yeah, I was reading, when I was reading the actual book, one of the characters is talking about watching Rodan on television, and it's the late 50s. I'm like, no, Rodan wasn't released to syndication until the early 60s.
Correct.
It was
But
just
down
something,
this coast
you know. I'm
route,
like, what the heck's wrong with this guy? You know, that has, and then of course it ends up Rodan is chasing him, and or something like this. So whatever monster he's thinking of, the entity becomes that particular thing. And from what I remember, and it's like, yeah, okay, Rodan, you wouldn't have been able to see that on TV, at that time, so it's like that took me out of it right away. I'm going, gosh, he doesn't even do his research.
Yeah, it's like George Lucas. Nobody wants to question him on his fallacies.
Yeah.
Well, George
So
Lucas, George Lucas was a big enough name that people did not want to question him at all. Anyway,
same
was
with
a big.
Stephen King.
Yeah. It's like when
But
he
yeah,
got his chance to have his original edit of American Graffiti, which I consider George Lucas's very best film. When he got his full director's edit, his cut, he had that cover band flash in the Cadillac or something, whatever they're called, the Cadillac Continental Kids or whatever, Flash Cadillac and the Continental Kids, I think is what they were doing. Louie Louie, and that song was not out on the hit parade in August of '62, which is when the movie is occurring. And I was like, why was he so careless with that? So in the extended or the director's cut, he has that band that's at the high school at the sock hop. He's got
right.
them playing Louie Louie, which was not out at that time.
Right, we just said the reason why. Sock hop flagged the cliche, Louis Louis flagged the cliche, and so on and so on. But I don't know if I had to, out of all his movies that I can enjoy, I would have to say, and this is very tough because I don't like enjoying anything Stephen King, but I'd say maybe Cujo, and that's because of the performance by D. Wallace. Otherwise, The Shining was okay, and that's because of Stanley Kubrick. So anything that he made that even was halfway decent was because it was not in his hands.
Yeah. Yeah, Kubrick didn't respect the source material at all. I like Kubrick's ending compared to the novel, but
Right.
the novel, in my book, no pun intended, but the Shining, I was reading that, and it telegraphs the ending. I mean, I'm going, oh, okay, now I know how it's going to end. It kept something your father forgot. It's like that stupid boiler, and of course that blows up the hotel in the end. But I go, well, if I wanted a Johnny Quest kind of ending, I would have been watching the cartoon so I liked Kubrick's ending with the maze in the winter. That was brilliant. But he didn't respect the source material. He had his own, like he kills actually the guy that saves the day for the mother and the son.
The innkeeper, Scatman Crothers.
Yeah, Scatman Crothers. He has him killed off. I'm going, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? That's the guy that saves the day, and
Probably
gets them
because
out.
he was so.
Yeah.
Probably because his character was so cringe because it was so stereotypical, written for a black person. Scatman Crothers, I was a big fan of him. I love Scatman Crothers. But he picked a lot of cringy roles just so he can get that paycheck. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah.
But he picked some really bad roles that were obviously pigeonholed.
Yeah.
But I don't know if a Steven Spielberg book can be adapted correctly to. Even fans of Stephen King say, oh no, it's not as good as a book. It'll never be as good as a book. Well, then why bother, right? Why bother? What's the point? So that's called cash grab, kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I have to admit that some of his short stories were pretty good in his Night Shift
Yes,
anthology, and his the Dead Zone. I think overall is probably my favorite of his novels that I read. Uh, that one was pretty good, I thought.
I agree. If you keep them on a leash, it's a little more tolerable. It's like in small doses you can handle it, but in larger doses you can't. It falls apart.
Yeah.
And anybody could tell. Anyone could tell. Even a child could tell the guy was high when he was writing everything that he was doing. You could tell it
Yeah.
was all influenced by drugs.
Yeah.
Well, the saying is that the sea drug is one hell of a drug.
Yeah, it is. It made Robin Williams famous, among others.
Speaking of which, am I allowed to say that on your stream without it getting taken down?
Say what?
The sea drug?
Cocaine? Yeah.
Yeah, am I allowed to say it?
It's a drug. Everyone knows about it. We're all aware of it. I mean, you could be using cuss words left after right, and they're not nearly as bad.
Well, Pops, call me overly cautious, but I'd rather not say things that'll get your live stream taken down off YouTube. That's why I'm overly cautious.
I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, I think you'd have to say a lot worse than that, actually, Dan, to get pulled during the stream.
Yeah, if you want guidelines on what isn't allowed to said on YouTube, come to all of our Walton streams.
Yeah, I'm still trying to process your line when you called Aaron a dominatrix that time, Gorilla.
Well,
So this third season premiere, which was a two-parter, which family member was sick or in danger?
John Boy got shot.
Yeah, see, they just don't know how to do things. You know, season premieres and holidays, they're always somebody's getting sick or hurt, and I'm like, come on.
In the context of the story, it actually made a lot of sense, Stone Rocket. It was a really good episode, actually.
Sure. No.
Yeah, it sounds like I wasn't there, but it sounds like a lure to get people back next season.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they started out strong in season 3. Basically, it was about the Waltons driving home one day, and they were passing close by where some of their Walton kinfolk lived up in the mountains, because apparently there's Waltons all over the mountains, right? That we've never met in the first 2 seasons. Yeah. So they end up driving along a back road, and it ends up they're doing construction for a major highway project, and it's going to be coming right through the home of one of the Walton clan. And they actually meet a couple of them at the side of the road, and they get chatting, and they end up going over to their place, and then they get the whole story about how they're going to be evicted from their land, and the government's forcing them out, and it becomes quite a confrontational scenario. Like there's people got rifles by the end of the episode, and it's getting pretty ugly. And that's when John Boy, of course, trying to be the voice of reason and the peacemaker, runs out and waving, this doesn't have to happen kind of scenario. And that's when one of the marshals gives them a good old shot right in the side. So, yeah, it was a really good episode, I thought.
Was John Boy's mole intact?
Oh yeah, he got shot in the side, not in the face. So yeah,
Right.
That's good.
I have a feeling that the guns were there the whole time, but they're not going to pull them out to the end so that we can get the audience to return for next season.
Well, they talked about it even early on at the early part of the episode about having to maybe resort to defending themselves, arming themselves. So it was a kind of a plot line running through the episode.
This was season 3, episodes 1 and 2, so it was the beginning of the season, not the end of season 2.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So they wanted you to. Okay, so it was season 1, and they wanted you to return. Sorry. Episode 2.
No, it was episode 1 and 2 of season 3.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Basically, they wanted you to come back for episode 3.
I guess that's their way of jumping the shark.
They had a good cast too. They had the guy Richard Hatch, who you might remember from the original Battlestar Galactica guys, if you've seen that show. And Richard Hatch was playing what was he, the son or something? Gorilla? I forget exactly which character he was playing, but I think it was the son, wasn't it?
Richard Hatch. Who cares? Let's have William Shatner.
Well, yeah. But
That's
Yeah, he came out with
that's
guns blazing.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's episode 3.
Michael
been-
Rennie.
that would have been just a few years before he did Battlestar, I think, actually. 'Cause
Jonathan
that would have been
Harris.
73.
Let's get some good actors.
Hey, Richard Hatch was very good in the episode.
Oh, yeah, whatever. William Shatner rules.
Wasn't he doing T.J. Hooker at that time? Well, I guess not quite, but
No,
Not
no,
quite.
that wasn't until the 80s. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Was
in
that
the
the
80s when he had the
Yeah, that's that
Yeah, the-
80s show. TJ Hooker.
the rug
okay.
generation. Yeah, the rug generation.
Right. I guess he was doing the Super Value commercials up here in Canada back in the early 70s. You guys
Spread
ever
out with
seen
like,
those?
yeah, spread out with like a few match games. You know,
Yeah.
there was a few game show appearances and things like that.
And
He
don't
made a few
forget,
movies. He made a good
Don't-
movie called Impulse in 1974.
don't forget his Promise Margarine commercials.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
yes.
living in his trailer or something, wasn't he? There for a few.
Well, that
years?
was after Star Trek was canceled because his wife divorced him, and he was
The
doing
Bitch?
basically theater with a kind of a traveling troupe of actors, and he was just parking his trailer wherever he could,
Yeah.
and living in that with his Doberman dog.
Hey, Pop,
That must have
can I
been
read a
difficult
chat real
not
quick?
for him. Well, good idea. Thank you, Gorilla. I'm so sorry,
Yeah,
everyone.
you can finish what you're saying.
Well, I was just going to say that it must have been tough for him to handle all the heckling coming from the audience. Well, you're Captain Kirk one day, and next thing you know, you're on a small play in Kansas.
I don't know. Hopefully, he didn't have to put up with that, but
Yeah.
Everyone does at some point. It all depends on how they handle it.
I don't think Star Trek was well known enough back in the very early 70s. So I mean, it would have been the fans, but the average, guy on the street probably wouldn't have a clue who Shatner was back in
Right? It was
73 or
mostly
whatever.
geeks. It was mostly
Yeah.
geeks.
Uh,
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's a quick chat I want to read real quick. Jim
Thank
says,
you.
"Wow, Gorilla can get in back door. Oh my!" That's a little
Yes,
bit,
sir. He is my co-producer.
I don't know where you left off on the other where you left off on these. So
Let me see if I can tell.
I gotta go check out my food here. So
Oh, go for it. I don't want to ruin your dinner. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to catch up here without hopefully not repeat anything. I don't think I even got to read anything. I was saying hello to the panel, and then I was getting ready to address the chat, and I never had a chance to. So I'll do that now. Stone Racket the Jazz says, good evening, all. And Sci-Fi Sit Down says, hello there, Stone Racket. And Stone Racket says, Sci-Fi Sit Down, howdy. And Sit Down says, hello there, PCC, hello to you as well. And I say, hello, guys. And Stone Racket says, PCC, greetings, good to see you as well. I'm so glad to see you guys again. I missed you guys for like over a week, and that's really sucked.
yeah, we missed you too, Pop.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
the same not having anything. Well, I mean, I had other stuff I did on Saturday, but it wasn't the same. Yeah.
Yeah, so some more laundry to do.
Yeah, more laundry, get caught up in more
Well,
chores.
the laundry
Cleaning the
never
room.
ends. The laundry never ends. Because unfortunately, those nice clean clothes do tend to get dirty in a week or two. So,
And I wanted to say
Yeah.
hello. Big shout out to Suzanne Exene. Hello. She says, hello, Pop. Good to see you, Suzanne. Hope you are doing well. I hope you guys are getting settled in. I know last I spoke to you, you said you guys were getting a new modem, electricity, all that stuff hooked up. So I hope that's working out well for you. And Gorilla says, hey. And Suzanne says, PvP, hello, dear. And Suzanne says, hello, Stone Rocket. And Suzanne says, Pop, please take care of yourself, dear. I am doing my best. Thank you. I'm undergoing some new treatment. And every time they start me under something new, it always takes me a day or two to figure out what sort of effect it has on me. And then once I can figure it out, I tell the doctors. Then they know where to dial it back or where to add more. And Suzanne says, Pop, please do. Oh, I got that. And then, hello, LGG. Hello, hello.
Oh, hi,
LGG
LGG.
says, waving. LGG is waving, yeah. And Suzanne says, LGG, hello. LGG says, Rumblings is #1. Well, thank you, sir. I would always like to think that. I know I definitely enjoy it myself. Suzanne says, Gorilla, hello. And Jim's Landscape says, hello. Hello, Jim. And Suzanne says, Jim, hello. And Cypress says, Gorilla's random thoughts won't be on the panel or stay in the chat. Oh, well, we found out he's here now. Glad you can make it, Gorilla. And Jim says, hey, kitty, LOL, Stone Rocket, PvP, PC, and sci-fi. Sci-fi Suzanne. And Jim's Landscape says, hi, Suzanne. Everybody's saying hello to each other. That's great. Sit down. I got backdoor access. Excuse me, sorry. I'm trying to find supper and got to go yell at Warner Brothers. Yeah, I hope you get that resolved, Gorilla. That's a bunch of BS, honestly. And Suzanne says, Basil, hello. And Basil says, hi, Suzanne. And Suzanne says, Gorilla, they hugging you again. Basil says, hi, Gorilla. Suzanne, hi, sweetie, says PvP.
Yeah. Oh, could you guys not hear me? Because I was saying hi to LDG, Suzanne, and
You
Jim
were-
and all that.
We could not hear a word, Gorilla.
Well, I'm
till
gonna
just
say
now.
hi to everybody now, But I
Go
am
for
glad it was Warner Brothers versus like CBS or Disney and all that, because Warner Brothers has been mostly fair. I've had a few FUs to them, but otherwise, mostly they've been fair.
Oh, you got a little hate-love relationship going on there.
Oh yeah.
And Gorilla's random thought says, hey, Basil. And Gorilla says, hey, Suzanne. And Shawshank got yanked. There it is, 50 minutes in. Gorilla's, it's not like anybody watches anymore, so I don't know why Warner Brothers has to be so damned anal. And Suzanne says, Gorilla, yeah, I figured so. And Suzanne says, PPP, no, it was Shawshank today. There we go. Clarifying. Thank you, Suzanne. Yep, they did, says Suzanne. And haha, Underdog agrees. And Jim's Landscape says, wow, Gorilla can get in back door. Oh my.
Well, it's not. He didn't write "oh my." He said "ow my."
Oh
So let's
my.
get
Thank you.
that spelling right there, Jim. Okay.
that oh my might even be more appropriate, actually.
Oh,
like,
maybe.
ow.
Ow. The dogs are part of the stream. I agree. So, in other words, Pop, you don't need to apologize for your doggies. It's okay.
Well, they still sometimes they need to stifle. And Basil says, the dogs was part of the stream. There you go. Thank you for saying that. And Suzanne says, Pop, I used to breed miniature schnoodles, schnauzer, poodle, cross, super smart days.
Dogs.
When I was living in the Bay Area, I saw people with inbreeds like that, and nothing personal to anybody who buys those kind of dogs, but they are Frankensteins, and I feel really bad for the dogs. You know, if you're going to want a poodle, buy a poodle. If you want a schnauzer, buy a schnauzer. But I remember reading an article several years ago, probably about 10 years ago, and it was a guy that introduced this snickerdoodle, I think it was, something like that. And he was the one that caused the big old craze of all this starting. And he said he regretted it. He never expected amateurs and people to go on and start crossbreeding these breeds. And I have poodles myself, and I'm glad for it. I wouldn't want to crossbreed them with anything. I've had people contact me over the years saying, "Hey, I've got a snickerdoodle or some crap. You know, would you want to breed your dog with it?" And I said, "No, definitely not." Basil says Stephen King is a strange dude. Some of his novels and movies can be disappointing, like a why other writer. I think he means
Like any other writer.
any other writer. Got it. Yeah, like those. I thought he meant like a, what do they call it? Y generation or whatever those new ones are. Like I don't know, my mind draws a blank, but those yuppie books that come out that are popular, like Hunger Games. That's it. Those
Yeah.
Y novels. They call them youth novels. That's what I thought he was talking about.
They're called
Basil says,
they're called young adult novels now.
Oh,
yes,
jeez.
that's it. YA. Thank you. You got to explain that to the kids because they're not smart enough to figure it out on their own, I guess. I don't know. I'm old school. I used to read Ray Bradbury. I didn't need anybody to
Yeah.
tell me what grade I had to be in to read it.
Yeah. I was reading Ray Bradbury when I was still in grade school.
Me
So
too. Me too.
H.G. Wells, Jules Verne, Ray
Uh-huh.
Bradbury, Robert Heinlein. I was reading all that, I was in third, fourth, fifth grade,
Exactly.
So
Yes.
no. I did a book report on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein in fourth grade.
That must have blew your teacher away.
Yeah, my Mrs. Osborne was my fourth grade teacher, and she was like, Brian, can we interest you in like this book, Oh Pioneers? She wanted me to get away from science fiction and classic horror, and so I just said, well, I did my next book report. I read a biography on Houdini, and
Oh,
so
yeah. Very
yeah,
cool.
so I it's like, well, I don't really want to read these like Oh Pioneers. I want to read something that's interests me, and at that time my older
And I have to
brother
say, go ahead.
my older brother like our father was into magic tricks and putting on magic shows, and so I was interested in magicians, so I just focused on Houdini uh for a biography to read.
Yeah, and see, I'm a retired teacher. And the one thing I learned was since I was a student, and then I saw it was very prevalent in school. And then that's when you tell the kids that they're stupid. Oh no, you shouldn't be reading this because it's a few levels ahead of you. You need to read this where everybody else at your level is reading. And it's like, no, those teachers need to be removed and fired. I hated that. I had the same battle again when the internet came into schools. And the teachers were like, oh no, the internet's dangerous. Kids can't have that. No, we're going to spend $120 on Grolier's encyclopedias that only has one paragraph on the entire damn Civil War. So there's another
Oh
battle.
boy, talk about behind the times, eh?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they wanted us to spend the money on this. They wanted to get the grant. The money was fine and dandy, but they wanted a brand new color computer on the teacher desk, a big, massive colored laser printer. And at the time, those dudes were up to between 5 and 10 grand. But the teacher didn't care about the kids. They just wanted a brand new computer. And by the way, what's the teacher doing with these computers? Microsoft Word. That's all I dealt with those idiots. So I had them try to discourage me too, where they tried to say, why don't you try to read this instead? Because I remember they were like, I can be specific. I remember, can't you read Tom Sawyer? And I would say, yeah, I did about 3 or 4 years ago, actually.
Yeah. In fact, our father had read to us Tom Sawyer. Uh, so yeah, it was just weird. I mean, it was just certain teachers. I was in a experimental school, I guess you could say, where there were no grades, uh, and everybody was at their own pace. And so I fell behind in some areas, but other areas like reading and writing, I excelled in. So
Uh-huh.
I was more in an advanced group. So, but once I got past third and fourth grade, it was a different story as far as I didn't have any teachers telling me what to read and you know
Exactly.
trying to hold me back. It was just keep on reading, keep on doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
and so I
It's
I
the old
I was
adage that's been around. Hush. Sorry, go ahead.
Well,
My dog's.
there's
Hush.
there's there's nothing worse than teachers. Oh,
yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
oh,
PvP.
here we go. Yeah, I was just checking my mute button because it's on the side of the darn headphone, so I can't see it easily. Yeah, there's nothing worse than teachers who assume, kids are stupid or whatever, and they want you to like progress, as slowly as possible instead of excelling at anything. Because I can remember in elementary school, like really early on, like in one of the first years of elementary, I was really good at reading. Like I could read extremely fast, right? Because I'd started like at the age of 4 reading comic books. And, after a year or so of reading comic books and actually learning I taught myself how to read basically.
A lot of
And,
kids did.
yeah, and I could whiz through a text, right? So I remember we used to have like a day where the kids would sit around in a circle and read, take turns reading stuff. And I would read like, really quickly, right? And I'll never forget one day the teacher says, "Oh, you need to read more slowly because you're embarrassing the other kids." And I was like, what the f?" And of
Yeah.
course, I did start reading slowly because I pretty well had no choice in that class, and it ruined me as far as reading goes because from then on I lost the ability to read quickly. So it's
Or the
just like
chair.
those damn teachers, sometimes I don't know where they're coming from, people like that teacher. I'll never forget that.
Well, there's two sides to every coin. And I will mention the fact that, yes, they have a curriculum they're supposed to stick to, but there's no reason to hold kids back when you see that they're able to aspire in certain areas.
Well, yeah, and the thing was, I was just reading, at a rapid pace. I wasn't like going out of the curriculum at all, right? I was reading what we were supposed to read in class, but
Same here, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
I think I've already talked about this on a previous stream, but when I was in first grade, uh, I was already way beyond the Dick and Jane books, but that's
Oh,
what we were
yeah.
stuck with, and
Okay.
and so we were all reading out loud, kind of like PvP was saying. You're in a circle or your little group, and you're reading these stupid books, and I was way beyond that already, and so I was so disinterested. So I read without expression, and the teacher, Brian, you need to read with more expression. And I said, well, I don't like these books. And she's like, well, and I just said, well, these books are stupid. And, I was reading Dr. Seuss, things that had an imagination
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
and,
yeah.
and they just thought, that their attitude towards Dr. Seuss was like, he was some kind of communist or something, you know,
Oh
and,
wow.
and so I got, I got talked down to, and of course I remember my, one of my classmates, Kevin Rose, he just basically said, well, Brian, you've, you've got to fake it. Just, fake, being enthusiastic as you read, see Jane
Yes.
run, you know,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, I remember those books too. Weren't they
Yeah,
painful?
I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like, so you're telling me to lie? I just, my honest opinion of those books was they were, it was always each sentence was 3 words,
they were
it's just,
they were like written at
Yeah, I
Cretton level,
remember.
basically, right?
Yeah, I remember
yeah.
hiding books within books so that my teacher wouldn't see and having to cover it up when we walked by.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, yeah. It was weird because when I was in fourth grade, my older brother, he was 5 years older than me, so he's in junior high, and his Scholastic Book Services, his order forms for books. I was ordering books from his book catalog. So I was ordering books from a junior high level when I was in 3rd and 4th grade.
Yes, that's
You
all
know,
the
that's-
books I used to send around from my Scholastic and stuff like that you would order books from.
Yeah, it was just, like for 35 cents, you get,
Yeah.
a paperback book, So I did order from the 3rd grade and 4th grade sometimes, like books about dinosaurs and that kind of
Well-
thing. But I
well-
just remember ordering a lot from my older brother's book catalog.
Well, with me there, I got a lot of books there from my teacher because he would buy the books for me, and in return, I'd save my Titleist Pro V golf balls for him and give him an equal amount of golf balls
Nice.
for the price of the book.
Oh, sweet.
And I got a golf course in my backyard, pretty much.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So you're getting like
An
tons
inside
of,
job.
lots
Yeah.
of money, dollars worth of golf balls popping into your yard, then, eh, Gorilla?
Well, I had to go. Well, I had to go across the alley, through the neighbor's yard,
Ah.
and down into their woods.
Oh, okay. Still, that's a good deal then. Like golf balls, even if they're secondhand, can be worth some good dollars. So yeah.
Well, let's see. I sold the good ones for 50 cents a piece or $5 a dozen, and the scraped up, shoddy, crappy ones, I sold them for 5 cents a piece or 50 cents a dozen.
Yeah. Still money though, right? Adds up.
And I had some guy paying me $1 per Nike I had.
Nice.
Wow. And what age were you when you're this doing all this spectacular business?
8, 9, 10.
Awesome.
Right on.
The
Yeah.
golf course.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I did about $400 a summer on it there. The
Wow.
lady at the golf course.
Wow. Better than a summer job, eh?
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's excellent. That's more than I got when I was detasseling corn in the summer.
Well, you also got to think that's different years there.
Yeah.
I had higher inflation versus what you had there. But the lady at the golf course always got pissed off, but she couldn't do nothing about it. Because between hole 4 and 5 runs that road that goes into Northridge, and that's where all the really expensive houses in town that line the golf course there around holes 4 through 9. There's a bunch of houses there that line there on a road called Northridge. So I always sat right on the road on the curb there and had them. So she couldn't do anything about it because I was on city property.
There you go.
Gee, you had it figured out at a young age there, Gorilla.
That's pretty sad, right?
There is one joke that I can tell Gorilla, but then it probably will be too inappropriate to say, though, unless Gorilla knows what I'm thinking about to tell them.
Not my stream.
So, is there any movie coming out soon at the theaters that anyone is anxious to see?
Well, last Saturday, 2 of my brothers came down to visit, and we all went to see Dune Part 2 at our IMAX theater.
And what do you think?
Last Saturday. That was last Saturday. Like I said on Midnight's Edge, I said it was, definitely a impressive cinematic achievement, and it's definitely epic movie going experience. Movie going experience, and great special effects. But as far as an adaptation of Frank Herbert's novel, I rate it the same as I did David Lynch's 1984 version of Dune. It's just as poor as far as an adaptation goes.
You think they dumb it down to the audience?
Well, it got the so-called quote modern sensibilities unquote crept into it.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard Andre say when he reviewed it.
Yeah, his Nerd Cookies, Elaine, her review, and then Andre's Bitter Pill reaction video. Those combined, I agreed totally with what they both were saying. Now, of course, Andre saw some messaging, modern messaging in it. Elaine didn't really address that, but she still had problems. She still had problems with in a similar fashion, just from a different point of view. But it's more of this girl power crap.
Yes.
When the Reverend Mother Helen Gaius Moham, she basically admits she's behind it all. She's the one that influenced the emperor to go after the Atreides family, and it's like, what the hell, you guys? You in the previous movie, she was stressing the fact that in the Harkonnen attack on the Atreides on Arrakis, don't harm the mother and her son, so they can preserve the bloodline. And then in part two, it's like completely the opposite. No, I want to destroy the Atreides bloodline. It's like, no, the Bene Gesserit preserves bloodlines. And it's just, to me, that just came out of nowhere, and I just attributed it to girl power crap. It's like, it's like the Bene Gesserit, they are powerful as is in Frank Herbert's novels. They work from behind the scenes and in the shadows and whatnot. They're powerful as is, but Denis Villeneuve, or whoever the heck was over him as far as producer, they wanted to goose them a little more and make them even more powerful. And it's like, no, it wasn't the Emperor's idea. It was my idea, says the Reverend Mother. And it's like, that's basically what I got from that. And then of course, Chani, the actress Zendaya is the weak link, but the way they rewrote her character was really irritating, I thought.
I think the problem is women are getting. I know there are conservative American women out there, but they're starting to lose their bearings, and they're getting to where they enjoy woke crap, and they don't see it for what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. You can have it right in their face and they don't see it anymore. And not only that, they'll keep making excuses for it, like it's okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you saw Andre's video, because I think his take as far as looking at the messaging and I don't know where that's coming from, if that's from Denis Villeneuve or the studio or somebody, but it's just a darn shame that they and then some of like Rebecca Ferguson talking about how backwards the original novel is, and it's like, no,
of course.
No, the women are
material, right?
The women in that book are powerful as is. The Bene Gesserit is the ones running, influencing a lot of the politics and they're the power brokers. But they're in the shadows, behind the scenes kind of thing, subtle. But of course, we can't have that in the modern day. We have to have everything sledgehammer obvious.
Hey, Pop.
Right, it's got to be very clear that they hate men.
Yeah.
On the chat.
Yeah.
Go for it. Thank you. You can cover it for me.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you can do that.
Welcome, Oiler Greg. Welcome.
Hello, Oiler Greg. Good to see you.
Oh, got to run for a few minutes. Be right back. Sorry we didn't catch that sooner there. Hey there. Good to see you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Suzanne says I made it back. Nemesis says boo. William Shatner's boo.
Yeah, we have a non-William Shatner fan, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't appreciate great acting, it's your loss.
Yay, William Shatner. Yay. William Shatner. Yay. William Shatner. Yay. There, I countered Nemesis of Eden.
Shatner is a great actor, and anybody that can't see that from his performances over the decades is not paying attention. At least that's my humble opinion.
Well, I'm not gonna downgrade. What's that, Gorilla?
He was making a joke there because you guys were talking about how great William Shatner was, so he's making the joke. Boo.
Oh, I wasn't aiming it at him. I was just making a general statement.
Yeah.
No, but you said a negative thing about his opinion, which isn't very cool.
No,
He
I
has the
think
right to his opinion.
like Gorilla said, though, he was making a joke, and I kind of figured it was a joke, so I wasn't actually aiming it at him.
All right. So anyhow, Nemesis says hello to everybody on the chat panel. He says, "Hope you're all doing well. Currently hotboxing in my bathroom. Shh, don't tell anyone."
Hot box in
Curly?
the bathroom. Ooh.
Who's Curly?
Well, I know he's one of the Three Stooges.
Currently hotboxing.
Oh, currently. Got it.
Yeah, Basil says hello, Pop. Good to hear from you again.
Hello. Likewise. Good to see you, Basil.
Joe says, "Yeah, I'm working on laundry tonight.
Yay, brother.
I still gotta do dishes tonight." And Basil says, "I miss this weekday streams. I work
Ouch.
till 11 p.m. every day now, so I
Ouch.
can't tune into the stream."
That's late.
And Suzanne says, "Pop, yes, we have full electricity and heat now. Home phone and internet were hooked up yesterday. Pantry is full. Can't ask for much more. Dear, my boy is healthy and growing like wheat." Well, it's good to hear you got everything back on track there, Suzanne.
Yeah, sounds like things are going well there, Suzanne. That's great.
And Basil says, "I tried to catch the rerun as often as could." Oh, no worries. And apparently I was muted. There's the Nemesis.
Hi, Nemesis.
And Gorilla says, or Basil says, "Gorilla, your mic is rather weak, bud. Can you speak up?"
You sound fine on my end.
You're coming in fine, Gorilla.
You sound fine here.
It's that automatically adjust volume mic thing. There.
I always when I come into StreamYard, I always uncheck that auto thing on the audio part, and I adjust it manually.
Well, I shouldn't have to here.
Well, I've just noticed that when people leave it on auto, they are somewhat subdued as far as the audio level, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, Gap says, "Hello, everyone." Well, welcome, Gap. Welcome.
Hello, Gap. Yeah, I'm noticing when people. Sorry, go ahead, Gorilla.
No, keep going.
I'll make this quick. I was going to say, I noticed if you set your mic settings to automatic, then what happens is people come on and have custom mics that they buy, and they set their own audio level, and it just makes it sound like everyone else is low compared to them. So that's essentially what I've noticed, but that's my opinion. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, Gap says, "I just watched a cool show with Randy McDowell, Fantastic Voyage."
Roddy McDowell with Fantastic Voyage. I thought that was
the mid-70s with that guy Eisenman.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
What was that now?
Well, it was one season. It was a TV series from 1974, 75.
And it was called Fantastic Voyage?
Oh, yes. I thought it was the movie, too.
Yeah, that's the name of the movie from 66. Fantastic Journey, maybe? Or
I don't think Roddy did Dangerfield. I don't think Roddy McDowell was in the movie.
Right, he wasn't in the movie.
Yeah,
but,
I don't think so.
But the series, I'm going to have to. Maybe I better look that up. I'll look into that.
But what it was basically a precursor to Sliders. Every week they would just step into another dimension, and they would be in another city that looked exactly the same, except they're in a different dimension. It had that same stock actor. I can't remember. He had curly brown hair. He played a lot of stuff back in the 70s. I remember he was the original Doctor Strange.
So that was like alternate universe stuff then, it sounds like, Pop.
Exactly like Sliders. Even the characters. It's like when they made Sliders, it's like they didn't even bother to try to alter the characters in any way. So Roddy McDowell's character was the character of John Rhys Davies, if you can imagine that.
Huh. They actually filmed Sliders in Vancouver. Do you guys know that?
Yeah. I liked it. I watched anything I could get my hands on with Roddy McDowell.
Yeah, he's a good actor in his time, yeah.
Yeah, very, very kept himself very busy, which I was happy for. But it was ever since I saw him on Planet of the Apes, I was just totally floored. And I watched anything I could get my hands with him in it.
Yeah, he was.
And the ranges he had, the range that he can go from Planet of the Apes to The Legend of Hell House. I really appreciated that.
Yeah, it's in his filmography. There's a series called The Fantastic Journey. It was only 8
Maybe
episodes, and that was from 1977. So
that's it.
I think that's what he's talking about. It has
Possibly.
Jared Martin and Carl
That's it.
Franklin and
That's it.
Ike
Yeah.
Eisenman. Yeah,
Yes. Jared Martin was
yeah,
the guy with the curly hairs who I said who played Doctor Strange, and
right.
the other guy you mentioned was the token black guy. No offense to
Token black
these
guy.
out there.
Yeah, it says
Just like
travelers are stranded in the Bermuda Triangle. On an island, they meet Varian, a man from the future, and Liana, an Atlantean. Together, they journey through different worlds in hopes of returning home.
right. They
So,
did the name.
did you say that Sliders is a ripoff of this, or the other way around?
Sliders was a rip off of that because Sliders didn't come out until mid to late '80s.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Roddy
But did
McDowell,
you-
you mentioned Legend of Hell House, I believe. Pop was are you talking like the original Hell House from the '60s?
There was only one Legend of Hell House, and he was in it. There was a movie, the Shirley Jackson movie, called Hell House.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay, a different thing.
Right,
Then.
that's the black and white movie, right? That Shirley Jackson wrote.
Yeah.
But then there was the Legend of Hell House, written by Richard Matheson,
Okay.
and that's the movie that he was in 1974. And I'm hoping if I'm still walking this earth, to cover it on my sci-fi horror stream one of these days. It's an amazing haunted house movie.
Yeah, I was just looking up local cinemas here. Dune 2 is showing some, but it's not as good, you were saying, Stone Racket, as it's made out to be.
Well, it's worth seeing on the biggest screen you can see it on. I think it's still worth seeing. It's just that as far as being a good adaptation, there's a lot of problems I have.
So
You
it's
know.
not faithful to the book per se. Then
I mean, they don't have to be, follow it religiously, but their choices that they made, it counters the spirit of the book.
that's not good.
Because with the Fremen, they have this north-south division where the southern Fremen are more devout, and the northern Fremen are younger and more skeptical. And to me, that just like what Andre from Midnight's Edge was saying, he said that smacked of the modern sensibility and their disdain for anything spiritual.
Yeah, well, it almost reminds me of like the 1860s Civil War era, like the North and South thing. Like seriously, guys?
This I'm talking about how the so-called elites look upon the South, which is traditionally more devout and conservative, and it's like they're trying to imprint their disdain within this movie, where the religion among the Fremen was what united them in the book and made them strong.
Right. Well, the thing is, it sounds like they're trying to impose USA onto a sci-fi scenario,
Well,
which is kind of silly, really.
it's a Hollywood film, as
Yeah,
Andre
still.
emphasizes. Even though Denis Villeneuve is French Canadian, it's still a
Right.
Hollywood production, and so you're going to get these stupid modern sensibilities.
Yeah, gee, that sounds very unfortunate that they've done that.
Yeah, that kind of stuck in my craw.
Yeah,
and
be faithful to the source material. That's what I've always believed, right? Like, geez.
The worst
That's kinda
part about
sad.
it are people are falling for it. People are talking about it since it's like the second coming. And when I hear that, I'm thinking, oh no. All that's going to do is encourage them to make more crappy movies like this.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one anyway, so unless I watch the first one first, I ain't shelling out like $15 because I have no idea what's going on if I haven't seen the first half. So,
Well, I downloaded the first one, and I figure I'll wait till when the second one comes out. I'll watch them both back to back. But then after hearing what Andre said, no, I'm not gonna. I'm so glad I didn't waste my time.
Really?
And I just went back and deleted the whole thing.
Yeah, there's nothing much at the local cinemas. Like we got main ones, and they're all showing pretty much garbage. We have one independent cinema that's sprang up last year, amazingly. And I was just taking a look at their website, and in March they're showing Jurassic Park, the original film. They're showing Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which I hear is decent. I've never seen, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail are some of the films they're showing. So they're actually going back to the old school stuff, which is kind of awesome, actually. You know, compared to the rest of the mainstream cinemas that are showing all modern garbage, basically.
When Pop, when you're talking about downloading and whatnot, I that not going into any big detail, but that particular website that you link to frequently for your Tuesday live streams,
That's different. Yeah,
I
go
can't.
ahead.
The website that you link to frequently for your Tuesday live streams for us to prepare if we hadn't seen a particular film, that particular website, I cannot watch anything on it anymore.
I understand because it keeps taking you over to different websites. I was talking to Gorilla about that. We need to come up with a different
yeah.
site to
What I noticed a couple weeks ago, I have ad blockers on my browsers except one, and all I get on that particular streaming website is a blank screen. But when I fired up my browser that has no ad blockers, it would actually play the video, but it would be marred with all this advertising crap for gambling sites.
Are you talking about you're talking about the Frankenstein link that Pop posted a few weeks back, Stone Rock?
So today.
No, I'm not talking about a specific link. I'm talking about the specific website.
Huh.
That's Soap Today. Soap Today.
Okay, that's interesting because I just watched. I think I probably watched Lost in Space on there about a week ago. You know, for the latest episode, and it played fine. And I've always had my ad blocker on.
It's hit and miss, though. It's hit and miss. The problem is it's very unreliable and unstable. So I know Gorilla's gone now. I think he had to step out. But
yeah,
I need
she's probably eating supper.
Yeah, I need to get with him so we can figure out which site would be better for you guys without you having to deal with that crap.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything on my Safari browser or my Firefox.
Oh, you're on an Apple. That explains it. Yeah.
I'm on. I have an Apple computer, but that shouldn't make any difference.
Apple has more built-in safeguards than the PCs do.
Yeah, it's just that I never had any problem until 2 weeks ago. And that's that website I was using to watch Lost in Space and Star Trek. And
I was same thing here. It was fine with me until about a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And then I told Gorilla bless him. I said, Gorilla, this website's not worth it. It keeps taking us up and hijacking and taking us to other websites. And he's like, well, just keep clicking. And it's like, no, that's the whole point. We don't want to do that because we don't want that stuff installed on our computer. The whole point is to avoid websites that do that.
Yeah.
So we will.
I mean, it would. I noticed that it would pop open a new window, and I just shut it down. But lately, it has this overlay, and it has a little countdown in the corner, but you can still shut it down. But now, I can't get anything to play. It's just a black square. There's and you can't watch anything at all. And but it's not your fault. It's just that, doggone it, I was relying on that site because it's so convenient. Because all I had to do is, pop on my computer and do my homework for your stream and for Jill's stream. But I do have the Blu-rays.
I feel terrible.
I do have the Blu-rays, so I'll just have to go back to my Blu-rays for Lost in Space and Star Trek. That's okay.
Well, I feel bad because we should be able to put good solid links in there without you guys having to dodge around all that crap. So I am going to work on getting a better site up. I promise.
Yeah, hopefully
talk to
you and
Gorilla.
Gorilla can find something. You know, that would be sweet because
He
that
knows
was
better
really
than I do.
that was really convenient to have that because I go, gosh, you know, I can watch all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
well,
talk
some
to
of
him this
these,
weekend.
it seems like some, well, I'll call them unofficial sites, can be unreliable at times. They do seem like sometimes they seem to change, right? Like, I don't know, like the web host or something might change and then the quality might change. I've noticed that a few times over the last year, but
Yes.
generally I have a decent experience with them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that's
like I
kind of
said,
unfortunate.
everybody's getting a different experience, and that's not cool.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
maybe Gorilla might have some ideas about how to
yeah,
solve it, Pop, because he's pretty good
He's
at
got a
that.
whole bunch of different. Yeah,
yeah,
he's got a bunch of different websites that he knows about. So I'm gonna get with him maybe
yeah.
the
That'd be
next couple of
great.
days and try to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Hey, Pop, this Suzanne Eckstein's chat has been on the screen. I
Oh,
don't
that's
think it's
right.
been read.
That's right. Gorilla stepped away. I'm sorry, Suzanne. Okay, hold on. Gorilla says, "Hey, Suzanne,"
Oh, go back. You
and
did go back to the one that was on because it hadn't been read yet. The one from Suzanne.
that one was big. Well, that's what I did. I hopped past the last one that he starred, but I guess I need to
Oh,
go behind it.
but it wasn't read yet. The one about her
Gorilla, they
homeschooling her.
bugging you again? Hold on. Yeah, there's several. I'm not sure which one. Let me see if I can
Yeah, we
figure it
already read this one.
out. Can you see it?
We already read this one. The Shawshank got
No,
yanked.
the one that you're talking about that we haven't read. Can you see it?
No, I cannot.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was a couple after this. It seemed like it anyway. I don't know for sure, but
Jim,
it was
hello.
it was
Gorilla's
just
random thoughts want to
Suzanne.
be on the panel or stay in the chat.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
that's
way
way
long
back
ago.
behind.
That's the Wayback Machine. That one.
Bear with me, guys.
I got to
I'm
boogie in a
looking for
couple
it.
minutes. I got to boogie off in a couple minutes and get my laundry out of the dryer. By the way, so just give an advance notice if I suddenly disappear. I wasn't kidnapped by gypsies, honest.
Suzanne, can you do me a favor if you're listening? Post that same chat again. Okay, Stephen King is a strange dude. Basil
Well,
says overall he's a good author. Ola Greg says hello, Pop and panel. Ola Greg says, hail, Basil. And Ola Greg says hello. I apologize if I'm reading these a second time, guys. And Ola Greg says hello, Suzanne. And Suzanne says, gotta run for a few minutes, be right back. Okay, sounds good. And Basil says, hey there, Ola Greg, good to see you. Yes, it is. Cheers. And I made it back. All right. Boo, William Shatner, boo. There we go. Yeah, we definitely read that one. Nemesis, hello. Nemesis says, hello, Suzanne. I hope you are doing well. Yeah. And Suzanne is giving thumbs up. Very cool. That's glad to hear. Hey, Pop Culture Career panel chat. I hope you're all doing well. Currently,
Hot boxing my
boxing.
bathroom.
I'm sorry.
What
I
is
had
that?
to lean. I had
Yeah,
to
what does
lean
that mean?
forward. Smoking inside the bathroom. I don't know what
Oh, okay.
substance it means.
Don't tell anyone. Okay, all right.
Basil says, hello, Pop. Good to hear from you again. And there's a link for PvP that he put out there. Thank you, PvP. Basil Battle Dragon says, yeah, I'm working on laundry tonight. There he is. That's where we left off. Basil Battle Dragon says, I miss the weekday streams. I work till 11 p.m. every day now, so I can't tune into the stream. I'm sorry about that, Basil, but if you can catch the reruns, it'd be highly appreciated. And Suzanne says, Papa, we have full electricity and heat now, home, phone, and internet. We're hooked up yesterday. All right, pantry is full. Can't ask for much more. Dear, my boy is healthy and growing like a weed. I'm sorry, guys. I feel old. I had to struggle to read these because
Do
I
you
have to
want me to
lean
read them?
forward.
Do you want me to read them?
Well, you can't select them. Is the problem. Only Gorilla can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I can't
But
select, but I can read
yeah,
if you
okay.
want
Go
me
ahead.
to.
Go ahead and read this one. Oh, I read that one. How about this one?
Yeah, Basil Battle Dragon says I try to catch the rerun as often as I can.
Very cool. Thank you.
And Suzanne says Nemesis cheers. And Nemesis says you were muted, Gorilla. Yeah, for a while there we couldn't hear him.
Yes, he was.
Gorilla, your mic is rather weak, bud. Can you speak up? Yeah, we got that figured out.
Yeah, we did. We're way past that.
Yeah, we're just trying to catch up.
Really? Okay. Gap After Dark says hello, everybody. And Suzanne says, Gap, hello. And Gap says, I just watched a good show with. Okay, that's the one. We definitely read that. All right.
Yeah.
Gap After Dark says, hey, Suzanne. And Nemesis of Eden says, hail, Gap After Dark. Hope your night is going well. Yeah, absolutely. I hope so. And Gap After Dark says, hey, Nemesis, you going good? You're going good, and yours. Yeah, going good, and yours. Sorry, guys. But that's what I want to explain is I have to lean forward to read these because I'm wearing glasses.
Yeah,
And
this is the one I was talking
sometimes,
about.
okay, I have to lean forward to read these because I wear glasses. So that's why sometimes I might mispronounce some of the words, guys. I do know how to spell.
Yeah, we understand.
Pop, I agree about teaching. I ended up pulling my boy out of public school and homeschool him. He could read grade 4 level H5. He is super smart. That is exactly it, Suzanne. Good for you too for being an active parent and staying on top of that.
Yeah, hey
There's so many
Nemesis.
parents out there that don't care. Hello, Nemesis. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Hello, Gabriella. Hello, Pop. Hello, Stone Racket.
Oh,
Hello, Sith Dan.
hey, hey,
Hello, hello.
Nemesis, I see how I rank. You'll come on Pop's panel, but you won't come on mine. I see where I rank.
Hey, Nemesis.
Oh, dude, I had one thing to say about Shawshank, and I made my point, and you giggled your ass off. So,
What was that?
What?
Share that with us.
it was just, go ahead, Gorilla.
Well, you had the best pun I've had in a long time there when you said, "Yeah, you don't want to hang on that seat too long, there, Gorilla." With the
man.
That's what see with yeah, the one with Brooks when he Epstein himself there,
Oh.
and Nemesis put in the chat. I had to pull it down real quick so because YouTube's rules there, and Nemesis put in the chat. Yeah, Gorilla. Yeah, you don't want to hang on that seat too long, there, Gorilla.
Yeah, you're exposing all the Google executives. Yeah, that's the problem. And Suzanne said, "Yeah, that's an oldie." And Nemesis of Eden says, "Not too bad, Gap, not bad."
Hey, Gap.
And Gap Driver says, "It's is Suzanne." And Basil, sorry, Basil says, "Hey there, Gap, how are you?" And Gap says, "That's a good Nemesis." Gap After Dark says, "Hey Basil, doing good. How are you?" And Ola Greg says, "Cheers." And I return that back. "Hello, Ola Greg. Cheers to you as well." And Suzanne says, "The teacher would take my boy who was 7 years old and would have him teaching kids, oh yes, in the grades 4 and 5, how to read better lol, where she was snorting coke in the back office."
Yeah, when I was in grade school, since I was in the group that was advanced as far as reading and writing, the teachers had me teaching some of the foreign exchange students, helping them with their reading and writing.
Right, as long as they can pass the work on to someone else, yeah, good for them, right?
Yeah.
Talk about lazy. Suzanne says, I had people look at me strange when my boy was 10 years old and ordering George Orwell, 1984.
Yeah, that's
And
like
Taylor Swift,
me.
hello.
Taylor Swift, yeah, Matt G.
Good to see you, Matt G. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And Jack Patrick Dog says, and remember begging my mom for book money for scholastic orders at the school. Oh, yes, I remember that
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I was lucky. My mom was a teacher, so like I did a lot of reading and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you're
Hey there,
fortunate. Yeah,
Taylor Swift.
I remember having to beg for books. They were like 50 cents, 35 cents. Yeah, it was like
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I was lucky. I was able to get uh, the money I needed for certain books. I was pretty selective with what wanted to order, but fortunately, I was able to order stuff what when I wanted it. So I
Correct.
got the money. But with Nemesis, I take it since your mother was a teacher that you got a lot of free books, huh?
no,
No, oh
no, the school
dear.
system was not like that.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe she would bring home some stuff for you, but okay, that's good.
No, no, unfortunately not. It was like she taught a certain grade and that was it. So I mean, yeah, it was great for that year, but like aside from that, no.
Uh
And Jack
huh.
Patrick Dog says, hey, Taylor.
Yeah.
And Nemesis of Eden says, hey,
Hail
Taylor. Hope
Taylor,
you're
hope you're
doing
doing
well.
well. Oh,
And Nemesis of Eden says, hey, OG. Hope you're doing well as well. And Basil says, William Shatner is a great actor. He was a great Captain Kirk. Long live Captain Kirk.
yay.
Cam Crash Courses says, adjust it manually, but don't talk about it on YouTube. Hello, everyone. I came into that. Good to see you, Cam. Hope you're doing well, sir. Glad you could stop by. Lemons Bean says, Cam, I hope you're having a great night. Yes. And Cam says,
Yeah.
Pop Culture Creator, hi, Pop. Hello, panel. Cam's Crash Courses says, Lemons of Eden, thanks. I am. Hope you are too. And Cam says, Suzanne Eckstein greets my friend.
Yeah. Hey,
And
Cam.
Lemons of Eden says, yeah, very cool. Lemons of Eden says, my night is going well. Didn't burn this latest batch of cookies. So, yay. Oh, that's always a good plus. Especially
Nemesis,
chocolate.
what kind of cookies did you bake?
Three, well, technically four ingredient peanut butter cookies.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
Yes, yes,
Have you ever heard of Ranger cookies?
I have.
Yeah, those are one of my favorites. They're good nutritious cookies. Good for taking on hiking trails.
Yeah, that's what we use them for sure.
Yeah.
And Cam says, Nimsavine, nice. What kind? Okay, there we go. We answered that. Thank you. And Nimsavine says, peanut butter cookies rolled in golden sugar. Ooh, that sounds even better. And
Yeah.
Cam says, well, I just stopped by to drop a like and say hi. Have a good one, everybody. You too, Cam. Thank you, and good to see you again.
Yeah.
And
What's golden
Nimsavine says, thank you for
sugar?
golden brown sugar. Nimsavine says, thank you for dropping by, Cam. Yes, absolutely. And Nimsavine drops the link there to Cam's stream or his channel. Thank you for that, Nemesis.
You're
And
welcome.
Crash versus says, Nemesivine, sounds good. Enjoy and have a good time. And Nemesivine says, I will. You too, Cam. Cody Guy says, hey, hello, Cody Guy. So good to see you, Cody Guy. Hope you're staying warm.
Hey, it's the band of many words, Cody Guy. Welcome.
That's right, the star of the hour. Nemesivine says, hail, Cody Guy. I hope you are doing well. Yes, exactly. I second that. And Gorilla says, complete crash. You talking about your computer?
Yeah, I completely crashed on me.
sounds like you got something going
Better
on
than your
here, right?
car.
It's a little more serious.
Oh yeah. Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you've already spoken to LDG about it, right? Nemesis Bean says,
This
"Oh my
was
God, are
I,
you okay, Gorilla?" Sorry,
I just
what's
did
that?
what he would have told me to do. I just did what he would have told me to do. Reboot.
Gotcha. Right. When in doubt, reboot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you okay, Gorilla? Says Nemesis. Limpai says, "Hey, hey." Gorilla's random thoughts says, "Computer just being stupid." Yeah, that's Microsoft. Lemon Pie says Nemesis. And Lemon Pie says Hi Pops. Storm Rocket, PvP, and Satan. And Lemon
Hello,
Lemon
Pie
Lemon
Pie.
says,
Pie.
I'm losing my voice. I need someone to help me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
that's
this,
Let,
bro.
pretty.
oh, go ahead.
Lemon Pie
Sorry.
says, "Yo, Nemesis, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I just need someone to." There we go. And Lemon Pie says, "Gorilla," with a gorilla emoji. And Gorilla's random thought says, "I'll be back in a couple of minutes." Lemon Pie says, "PvP and laundry."
Well, let's just hope he doesn't show off his dirty laundry.
Oh dear.
Yes, giving us a heads up early on. Lemon Pie says, "Hotbox sounds dirty."
The meaning has changed over the years. When I was a teenager, we would smoke cigarettes. We would have one cigarette, and there'd be two of us, me and my friend, and we're passing the cigarette back and forth. And he would always hotbox it. And what that meant was you'd pass it to him, and he would just suck, 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 suck until there was nothing left on it. And the butt was really super hot and mushy. It was
Ick.
disgusting and full of saliva. That's what hotbox originally
Gross.
meant, but yeah, that's what hotbox used to mean. But now eventually it's adapted to smoking within a small area, like a car or a bathroom or something.
Yes,
Oh, I have
containing
a
all the
real fun.
smoke so you get higher.
Oh, I have a real fun story with hotboxing and all that. Back in my, I was just out of high school there, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. There we were gravel traveling there. Uh, there we're hotboxing the damn car. Well, we're just happened to pass a construction site that there was a car turning around in there earlier that night that matched my car's description. There was two cops sitting down there at a four way.
I was
Obviously,
ready for that.
we got pulled over there. My friend who was driving my car at the time, he got put in the cop car here. We were just sitting there high as could be, BSing with the cop there, and somehow we got let go with nothing, absolutely nothing.
Well, it's
Probably
funny
that
because
giggle of yours, Gorilla.
it's funny
No, I was
because
really
when,
with them. I
sorry,
wasn't even giggling.
but it's funny because when people started using hotbox as a term for rolling up all the windows and getting high, that's when I started hearing all the time, "I don't understand it. I was just hotboxing and the cop pulled me over. I don't know why I got a ticket. Or I don't know why I got a DUI." And I said, "Well, because you are what is called stupido. Why don't you just hold the joint up in front of the window and show it to everybody?"
Or just
Young
shout.
generation, the younger generation don't understand the seriousness level of a DUI. So they think it's actually cool to walk around and hold a blunt up in the window as they're driving. When they pass it to the other person, they actually hold it up as high as they can, believe it or not, and pass it to the other person. They don't even have the brain. Excuse me. They don't have the brains over it under the seat or around the seat. They would hold it up in the air, and sure enough, the cop would be right on them. So I have no sympathy when I hear people getting a ticket when they're hotboxing. Back to one time, I was in Stockton, California, and I was sitting in the stoplight, and we were waiting for the light to turn, obviously. And I looked over to the side of me, and there were these two girls, probably these Hispanic girls, probably in their early 20s, and they're just passing this blunt. They're holding it way up in the air so that everybody and everyone around them can see it. Pass it to the next one. They're all laughing and giggling. The other one would take the hit and pass it back to them, so on and so forth. And I look in my rearview mirror behind him, and there's a cop smiling right behind him, sitting on his motorcycle, waiting at the light. But of course, we're talking about two ditzy bitches. No offense, females out there, but they had to sit there through the whole turn of the light. They never noticed that cop was behind them, and he was just smiling, shaking his head, and they're passing that blunt to each other, high up in the air. I mean, it's always got to be high up in the air. So yeah, sure enough, he pulls him right over. As soon as the light turns green, he flips on his lights, pulls them over. You can guarantee they got a DUI and they got their car repossessed, and they never saw that car again. Because in California, when you get a DUI, they repossess your car for a minimum of 30 days, and you've got to pay to get that out. And most people can't afford that, especially with
Was
that
it
sort of
like
intelligence level.
And
was
that's why
it like $50 a day?
Oh, you know, you're talking 200 or 300 a day.
Oh, yeah. Okay, because
and,
the impound here is $50 a day.
and there are some cops that love their job, and that's why they do love their job, because idiots want to show off their things.
It is because it's right. It's like walking right into. It's like being a criminal, walking right up to a cop and holding your wrists together and saying, "Lock me up." And it's total stupidity. There's no reason for it. But watch around you as you're driving. Sorry, I'm coughing because I'm not drinking enough. But watch around you as you're driving, and you'll see kids do it all the time, where they hold it way up in the air and pass it over to the next person who takes a toke off of it, holds it way up in the air, passes it to the other person. And I don't know if they're trying to show off, if they're being, they think they're funny. I mean, I never had an intelligence level that low, ever, ever, ever. I was never that dumb.
I mean, it's different here. Most of the kids that can smoke that are young are vaping, so you can't even tell that they're smoking anymore. It looks just like a nicotine vape.
They know here, well, I know here in the U.S., if that's the case, if they don't know which one it is, they will pull you over and check on it. Because they're told when in doubt, pull them over. And in most cases,
Oh, for
they
sure.
find out, especially when they're passing it to each other. Chances are it's probably not a nicotine vape. Usually they pass pot vapes to each other. Lemon Pies is hot box. Sounds dirty. Sorry, go off tangent, guys. And then Zavine says, "You caught mid message, Lemon. There's blood all over the letter." And then
Do you
Zavine
need me to
says,
go through the chat, sir?
"If you could, I
Or
appreciate it. My throat, yeah, if you can, yeah, my throat's like really,
It's all good, buddy. Go
yeah."
take a drink or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Nemesis says better than a cold box, Scurvy. The Taylor
Hey-o.
Swift some tacos and peanut butter cookies rule, says Scurvy. And
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yep, and already. So we're all caught up.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Yeah, Gorilla. If you ever
Speed gorilla.
if you're really baking Gorilla, and if the recipe calls for sugar, in many cases you can make it half and half. You can make it regular granulated sugar and then light brown sugar, and it will add like a nice maple flavor, a really good taste to whatever you're cooking. So I've used brown sugar many times when I was cooking. Are you okay, PvP?
Oh, I'm fine. I just got back doing my laundry, so I'm just settling in here. So sometimes I get a kind of cough. I get throat issues like you do at times, Pop. And I guess I should have muted, but sometimes I forget. Sorry about that. But I'm fine. I'm okay. I just wanted
Sorry,
to
guys.
mention brown sugar. My mom used to always bake everything with brown sugar, like shortbread and cookies and all kinds of good stuff, especially at Christmas, right? And she was always like the light brown sugar lady. And Yeah, brown sugar is really actually very good. At least I think it is. I enjoy it. So yeah,
It is. It's delicious. When I
exactly.
make when I make homemade persimmon cookies, oh, it's so much better when you mix the sugars with your regular granulated with the brown sugar. It's so much better. Like I said, it gives it kind of a maple flavor. But the good news
Yeah,
is it doesn't give it a molasses flavor because that I don't like.
Oh, I love molasses cookies.
I think you'd have to go for the darker sugar. I think there's a darker one too,
There
not the
is.
light. That might give you more of a molasses flavor, but I haven't had it very
Yes.
often, and it's been a long time, so I'm just conjecturing there.
I remember one time I was teaching adult ed downtown, and these were parents that were on welfare. And they were on welfare, and they were being forced to go to school, get their GEDs, get a diploma, get a job. And believe me, that was the last thing they wanted to do. And all they did was put up fights and arguments and look for excuses not to be there.
Sounds like fun. Oh,
They were
that
disgusting.
must have been hell for you, Pop.
They were disgusting. All of them overweight, sitting around the table saying, "Yeah, I got 8 head at home. How about you, girl? Oh, I got 10 head. Oh, girl, I need to get caught up to you." So yeah,
God.
totally disgusting. But anyway, one time I bought some molasses cookies, and I thought I'll try these, and they were on sale. So I grabbed them, took them to work with me, and I put them there in the staff room where all the teachers came in. They sat there for 2 or 3 days. Nobody touched them.
Oh, I love
I put
molasses
them out.
cookies.
Yeah, I put them out for the students, the mothers on welfare. How long do you think they lasted there?
5 minutes.
Well, let's just put it this way: they practically bit my hand off trying to get to them.
Well, at least you got rid of the cookies. That's one good thing, Pop.
I know, but just yeah, whenever you decide to give to those people, just toss it and stand back. Don't leave any limbs, no limbs or arms or feet or anything within reach of them, or otherwise you're asking for it.
Boy.
I remember one
Now
time there was a. Sorry, go ahead, Gorilla.
I was saying, now I want molasses cookies. Dang it! It's all your fault, Pop.
Sorry about that.
It's all your
Everybody,
fault.
Sorry.
everybody, mail your molasses cookies to Gorilla. He'll give the address later on.
Hey, I actually have all the stuff in my cupboard. I just gotta get off my ass to do it.
Oh, get off my ass and do it. Gee, I tell myself that about 100 times every month.
Oh
Well,
God, me too. Yes.
I found a way that's really helped me with getting a lot of stuff done. Is I just started writing everything I need to get down, and I've been breaking it down into smaller tasks, and that's really helped a lot
Yeah, if you
to
can break it
motivate me.
down into segments, right, into small
Yeah.
task segments, that makes a big difference.
So
I've been doing
yeah,
that for like 3 weeks. I've been very busy. That's why I missed a lot of streams, guys, because I just said, the heck with this. I got to get stuff done. And I've been catching up on so much stuff. It's been actually really good to be productive again. But anyway, sorry, girl. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go for it there, guy.
no. So like basically, instead of putting down like clean kitchen, I'll break it down into like do dishes, put dishes away, wash stove, put stove or clean off stove, wash stove, clean clean the counters. Break it down in small tasks like that. It really helps because then you
Exactly.
can really see on the paper that how much you've actually gotten done.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it doesn't
If
seem
you look,
so overwhelming.
well, that's the problem is overwhelming because, I've got right now, I've got the cable guy coming over tomorrow and I've got, a table full of, junk on my dining table that I really need to clear off by tomorrow afternoon. And I'll be doing that after the stream ends tonight, no doubt. Um, but it's just the way it is. Like it just, you look at it and it's just this huge pile of, stuff that I know, like most of it I want to keep. I just have to file it
Ugh.
away in appropriate
Oh,
places, right? But it's just getting started is the big problem sometimes.
oh, PvP! I can have that table cleared off in 15 seconds for you.
No, I'm sure you could, but then it'll be picking it up off the floor, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Actually, I had my coffee table in the living room collapse the other week, and I've got a bunch of stuff I had on the coffee table on the floor next to it too, which is another chore I got to do tonight. It's like, oh, geez. Ugh, it never ends, guys. It never ends, it seems.
Never ends, never ends.
Yeah,
Always something to keep you busy.
you got it.
Okay, how are we doing on the chat? Am I behind?
Last I looked, we're all caught up. I'll check again here.
Thank you,
We're all
Gorilla.
caught up.
Believe me, it means a lot to me. Yeah,
We're
thank
all caught
you.
up.
Yeah, they got me under some new treatment, which I just started last week. So basically, I go in Thursdays for half a day, and then it kind of wipes my butt out for a day or two. And that's why I haven't really been doing streams, and especially on the weekends, it sucks because that's when I want to do my streams. But I think once my body starts to get adjusted to the new drug, then I think it'll be okay. Like tonight, I felt a little bit better. So I wanted to make it a point of taking a nap ahead of time, so I was all ready to go. So I appreciate your patience, guys.
No, that's okay. I ate supper earlier, and then I took a nap for a while too, because often I get drowsy after I eat supper. So I thought, well, I'm going to be fresh, so I'll just take a nap myself. So it's all good.
Believe it or not, I ate dinner yesterday for the first time in over a week.
You need to eat more, Pop, if
I know,
possible.
but with all these
Dude, that's
meds
awesome, Pop.
with all these meds they have me under, it really kills your appetite. But I'm
Yeah, I
trying
guess.
my best.
Yeah.
It's difficult enough
Yeah,
just
no,
to try
dude,
to
it's
liquids.
no. Yeah, Pop, that one meal is a victory. Like, congrats. Like, we're all celebrating for you. Like, that's awesome. Good for
Oh
you.
yeah. Oh yeah. Good news. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
You ever
appreciate
think
it.
you ever think some of those liquid nutrient things, like,
Oh yeah, and in fact, Ensure and Boost. Yeah, I'm gonna get some of those. I'm working on that actually with my doctor, and they're saying
oh,
that
good.
perhaps next week they're gonna get me some because
Awesome. Yeah.
unfortunately, financially, I cannot afford them. They're like almost $2 a piece, if not more.
Right.
So
Right.
they're gonna see about if they can prescribe them to me like medicine.
That'd be great. Yeah, because that would save you the trouble of cooking, and at least you'd be getting some nutrients in your body every day, right? Which would probably help a lot, I
Yes.
would think.
Even when I do eat, it's like those little frozen dinners like Stouffer's, Marie Callender's, that crap.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's not a lot, but it's better than nothing, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's
It's certain.
better than nothing. Mm.
Certainly is. And then, yeah, talk to your doctor about it because I know they make like high level boost, or at least they do here in Canada. Like, and like my doctor either prescribed or gave me like a bottle or two back when I was bedridden, when I had my back go out, when I was dealing with the herniated discs there. And yeah, a little bit goes a long way. I know they're expensive, but like it's definitely a lot. It holds a lot more nutritional value than one of those Stouffer's, even though it doesn't seem like it.
You're absolutely right. And the
And the thing
Stouffer's
is,
helps because it's liquid, which I definitely need. I need to hydrate myself.
well, that too. I mean, you can just put it in a glass and drink it. Like, it's a lot easier than having a plate full of food in front of you, right? So.
Right? Like
Exactly.
I literally kept my package on the bed, like literally, and whenever, because I couldn't eat for days because when you're in pain or whatever, like you just can't eat. So yeah, whenever I felt like it, I'd just be able to reach over and grab a bottle and pop it. Like, yes, would it be nice to have it cold? Of course, but like it can literally sit on your bed right beside you all day for weeks, and it'll be fine. It's shelf stable. It's wonderful stuff.
Right. I want to try to see if I have a video here and see if I can show it to you guys. Let me see here. It doesn't seem to like VLC player, but I'm going to try again. But basically, last week, or this is the week before last, they sent me to what was called PET scans. And those revealed a whole bunch of tumors in my back and in my lung area. And I'm trying to see if I can play that so I can show that to you guys and so you can see what it looks like.
Oh, now comes the more money expensive part of it now, huh?
Yes.
So how are things going? Like, has there been an improvement, Pop, or a stabilization at least?
I would have to say it's like a cat chasing its tail.
Oh yeah, so it's kind of going around and around. Okay, I get it.
Yes, exactly. Right. It's like as soon as it's like whack a mole. As soon as they knock out one, then they have another.
Yeah, yeah. The big C has a way of doing that. It seems, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. Because my sister had it. So my actually, that's the one thing in my family that does. Because I've lost a grandfather and my sister, and my mom even had it when she was young. But thank goodness they got it early, and she lived to be 92. So there's always hope, right? So never give up hope, Pop.
Excuse me. I had a friend tell me that yesterday, and I was thinking, with this pain, I don't know if I want to live that long.
Well, hopefully things will improve, in the coming months with this new treatment. No, that's what we're all hoping for that, Pop.
Yep. Got my fingers crossed.
I keep forgetting. I keep muting myself. Yeah, we're all hoping that you have a good quality of life, Pop, because it's not necessarily about the quantity. It's we want you to be living as well as you can and being happy and pain free as we can be.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I do appreciate that, sir.
Well, of course, man. You mean a lot you mean a lot to me. Like I'm very thankful to have you in my life.
I
Yeah,
think
we all are.
Pop means a
Likewise.
lot to all of us. Like we wouldn't be here every Saturday if we didn't care, right?
Definitely.
Indeed.
Pop is an anchor. For me, he's an anchor channel. Like the only other channel that comes to mind automatically would be Jill's channel, but it's like Pop and Jill are like my two main go-to channels every week.
Thank you guys. I do appreciate that. All right, I think I got this working. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me know if you guys can see this.
Oh yeah, I see something.
Oh my.
All right, if you could see what I see, that basically that's my
Yeah.
rib cage. Towards the bottom is my rib cage and my spine. So
Mhm.
what it is this is a PET scan scrolling up and down through my body, like up to the top of the neck and down to the base of my back and back and forth. And I'm just holding my phone up to the imager and recording this. So this is me basically scrolling through the frames. It's not like an actual movie file, but it's me scrolling through the frames.
Is that red stuff a good thing or a bad thing?
The red stuff is definitely the bad thing.
Right, because that little white bit is your spine, and then that area around it, that big lump and mass, is that the cancer?
That lump in mass is the cancer slash inflammation. That is
Holy
where
moly, buddy.
a lot of my pain. That's where a lot of my pain lies. That's why you guys hear me when I can't talk, when it knocks the wind out of me, or if I bend over or stoop over, like when I lean forward towards the screen to read things on the laptop, then I can really feel it. My God, it's excruciating. So without further ado, let's see if I can get this to play. So this is, like I said, imagine the imager going up and down through my spine.
Jesus.
So that's from top to bottom, is it, Pop?
I don't remember if it's top to bottom or bottom to top.
Oh, okay.
How much cancer is deadly to you? I mean, all cancer is deadly, but how much is too much for you to handle?
Yeah, I actually had that question from my doctor. I said, when is it too much? When should I just say, hey, might as well give up because this doesn't seem to be helping. But of course, the doctor's going to remain positive, and they're going to say, "Oh, well, you still need to do it. Don't give up." There's people who have succeeded further past what you're doing.
Well, if you can get it into remission, then then you might live for quite a number of years if you can get it into remission and controllable, right? And hopefully at that point the pain might subside as well. So, I mean, let's hope, right?
Yes.
That does
Okay,
look,
so
yeah, looks like a fair
sorry.
sized mass though. There, I gotta say, Pop.
Yeah,
Believe me,
yeah.
I cannot describe the pain. The pain is extremely excruciating. It feels like somebody's sticking a hot poker in your back. So yesterday they scheduled my appointment. I had my I had two appointments yesterday. In the morning, I had my infusion. I keep thinking euthanasia. Anyway, infusion. I had my infusion appointment, and I got out of there at about noon. And they said, "Okay, after you're done with that appointment, step next door, and then we're going to go over your PET scans, which is what you guys are looking at now." So I did my infusion, but keep in mind, when I got up yesterday morning, about 6:30 my time, I had to immediately pop pain pills because when I wake up, I'm in so much pain. The pills have worn off from the night before. So I popped the pain pills and then headed downtown to the doctor. So I sat there until noon/12:30, getting the infusion. That was done. But then while that was finishing during that last half hour, my pain pills were wearing off. So what you see here is also full pain with no pain pills because they start wearing off around noon. They only last about 5.5 to 6 hours. Okay, so 12:30, I walk over to the X-ray department where what you're seeing here, and they show me the results. They made me wait in the waiting room for an hour and a half, and I thought I was going to die because those chairs are so ungodly uncomfortable. They're hard as a rock. They're designed to last. They're not designed for comfort. So I couldn't. Oh, I was in so much excruciating pain. And then they had this man and woman come in with a little baby. And the man goes, "Well, you got to see me now. You got to see me now because I have my wife with me and my daughter. They can't be waiting out in the car."
Oh,
And
jeez.
he's arguing. So yeah, they bumped my appointment down so that him and his, I'll just say, pigly wife could go in there, and that made me additionally an hour late.
That's
So,
sad. Oh, that's horrible, Pop.
and they were fine. They were in any sort of pain whatsoever. By the way,
Oh, that's really
they're very
bad.
healthy, young, early 20s.
That's bad. Gosh.
So yes. So finally at 1:30, they called me in and they say, "Okay, come in now." And I could barely get up, and they saw I could not get up, so they brought in a wheelchair. So they wheeled me in, and then the nurse, oh my God, all condescending, and
Oh,
with
gee.
her attitude, "Well, I'm sorry, sir, if you're having a long day today." I said, "Actually, no, that's not it. You guys called me in an hour and a half early. I've been ready." "Oh, well, sir, that's just how things happen." I said, "No, I was right there in the waiting room. You guys were boosting or putting people ahead of me in the waiting room list." I said, "I know exactly what was going on. I was there. I saw the whole thing." "Oh, well, sir, some people have their priorities." I said, "Are you kidding me?" So she goes, "Well, sir, I'm sorry. You have a nice day, sir." So what she's doing is she's saying all this shit. She's taking my vitals. So she takes the blood pressure, my oxygen level, and then she starts walking out. And as she's walking out, the nurse walks in, the actual or X-ray doctor walks in, is walking in. I know she's normally a nice lady. But anyway, so the X-ray doctor walks in and goes, "How's everything going?" All cheer and bubbly, and I'm like, "Oh my God, how's everything going? How you doing today, sir? Are you doing all right?" And I said I was. So they kept me in there for an hour and a half. I said, "Now I can barely move. I can't breathe. I'm in so much excruciating pain." And then, of course, that nurse's assistant pops up and goes, "Oh, well, he's had a really long day." And then I went off on the
Uh,
doctor. I said, "That's the reason why I have a voice that I do now, by the way." because at that point I didn't have much of a voice because I was so weak and in pain. But I was so upset, I let it all hang out, and I just started screaming at the doctor. I said, "Don't you have that fucking bitch condescending me and talking down to me like I'm stupid?" I said, "You think I'm dumb and you're gonna gaslight me with that crap?" I said, "I don't want to see her ever treat me again. I don't want to see her again. Do you understand that?" And of course, the doctor's like trying to de-escalate. "Oh, well, I'm sorry, sir. Sir, well, let's just take a look at your X-rays." I said, "Yeah." I said, "That was my whole point of being here an hour and a half ago." But I was so mad. I was able to clear my throat. That's why I'm able to talk now. But before that, I couldn't hardly put out a couple words. But I was so upset, I just went off on that stupid bitch. Sorry, guys, for the language. So anyway,
Yes,
I was
my poor virgin.
yes,
Go ahead, Bob.
your poor vested virgin ears. So
Yes,
I wasn't able
indeed.
to, right. I wasn't able to get home until 4:30 or 5 that afternoon and pop pain pills. So I was in pain the whole time from noon to about 5:30 p.m. And it was treacherous. My God. So anyway, once I got home, like I said, it was about 5 p.m. My friend immediately calls me because we've been watching my condition and goes, "What happened? What they say? What they say?" And I said, "I'm sorry, Manny." I said, "I can't talk." I said, "I'm in too much pain. I'm going to pop these pain pills. They're going to take about 30 minutes to kick in. If I can talk to you, I'll call you back, but I don't know because I feel really, really bad." And he could
I
tell. He
don't
goes, "Yeah, I could tell you sound bad." Sorry, what's that?
I don't I don't understand why didn't they give you pain pills while you were there?
I don't know if they'll
Yeah,
give me
I
prescription pills or not on demand.
Well, you think that staff would have known your prescriptions and known what
yeah.
medications you're currently taking, and they could have
Oh
given
yeah,
you like a pill at least. Like, geez.
yeah. They know
No,
what medication.
they'd probably be liable or something like that. I'm not that I'm speaking up for the staff, but like,
Nemesis is right.
But
I agree.
Michael
There's probably some
Jackson,
stupid loophole.
Oh, that's
no,
ridiculous.
Michael Jackson rooted for everybody.
Yes.
I just think that's shockingly substandard healthcare from what you've told us, Pop. Like, I've had to go for imaging in the last couple of years, like 5 or 6 times, and I've never waited more than about half an hour. Like, waiting an hour and a half that's just shockingly unacceptable. At least what I think. I think it's horrible, man.
When I have the pain, it's not just the pain, but it's very, very difficult to breathe because I can't inhale or exhale. If I take a deep breath, the pain is just enormous. So it's the whole time I'm taking very shallow breaths.
Yeah, I'm very surprised they wouldn't take that into consideration. Like, that seems like a very kind of a well, I gotta say a clueless staff, really. Like, don't they get
No,
what
yeah,
you're
no,
going through? Like,
they're probably best of friends.
oh, that's sad. That's very sad. That's very sad to
She
hear
could
how
at
bad that
least,
was.
at a minimum, she could at least said, "I'm sorry, I'll have a talk with her." But no, she just brushed it off. Like, well, can we just focus on the X-rays here?
Yeah, it sounds
And
like you had
that's
a
why I told her.
horrible day.
That's why I told her. I said, trying to gaslight me. I said that's the last thing you want to do.
And
I'm
that's
not
what they were
stupid, and
doing.
then yeah, I told her I'm very aware with what's going on,
Hmm.
and it always happens when I get these young ditzy nurses that are in their 20s. They treat men like shit. I mean, like horrible. It's not just movies and Hollywood. That is how they treat people in real life. Because when that guy came in with his, let's just say, porkified wife and their kid, all the nurses came out and doctors, they're all because it's all women. There's no men on the staff, and they all came out. "Oh my God, your baby is so cute!" Oh. For a half hour, I had to listen to that shit. And then they would look over me and they would look over me and then they would whisper to each other and then go back to, "Oh, look how cute. Oh my God, look at that smile."
Oh, jeez, that's horrible. That's so unprofessional. That's just shocking. That's shockingly awful, Pop. Like, so unprofessional. That just blows my mind. It really does. That's just like, wow.
Well, when I
That's
was a
just
teacher, it was the
awful.
same thing. When I was a teacher, it was the same thing. Whenever a teacher would walk in with a baby in the room, forget about getting anything done. In fact, it got to the point where, do you guys know what I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a charity, not a charity fund, but it's a fund where everybody pitches in so much every year, and then they use that money to where, like, if somebody's sick, they'll send them like good, good greetings cards. Somebody's in a hospital, they'll send them flowers. So a social group, that's what it was, a social group. They need to tell me what social is. Remember that. So, and we're at a school site where there's 2 men on the entire campus. So anyway, they would pressure me into paying for it. And I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want them to get upset because I knew they were going to. So I paid in for like good 5 years at least. But the reason why I didn't want to pay in is because they never, ever did anything for the men. There was only 2 of us on staff, me and the custodian, and they never did anything for us. They never had all the baby showers. Oh, how cute. All the coddling and gifts and all this crap. Because whenever the teachers would have a baby, which was quite often, there were like baby factories or baby dispensaries. Whenever they would have a baby, they'd bring him to the school and then parade him through the staff lounge. And then all of the teachers are like, "Oh my God, how cute! Excuse me, and you'd hear that for like an hour, and the teacher would be walking around preening and patting herself on the back, and all this, and then they would have a bachelorette party, they called it, and what they would do is they buy the teachers, they'd lavish all these gifts on the teachers and their infants, and I mean lots of expensive shit. But like I said, once again, never, ever anything for the men. So Marsha, the one who was in charge, and I'll get you guys are wondering where I'm going with this. I'll make it quick. This stupid bitch Marsha was the one in charge of collecting the money for this fund. One year I told her, I said, I'm not going to do it anymore. Why not? I said, because you guys never do anything for the men. I said, everything's for the women. I said, it's not fair. I said, if you can't see it, that's your issue. That's your problem. She went right to the principal and said, he refuses to pay. Because I got called into the principal's office asking why I refused to donate to the social fund. Isn't that nice?
It sounds more like an antisocial fund to the men, Pop.
Well, you think we went to the bachelorette parties? No, we didn't go to that. The baby showers, that's it. Baby showers, what they called them. We didn't go to that shit. Of course not. And they knew that.
Yeah,
they knew when they
should have
planned all that none of the men would go.
They should have had something for the male employees as well. That's ridiculous.
No, and I worked for the school district for over 20 years, and I saw that the entire time at every school site I was at. The entire time.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Hakeem.
Hello, Hakeem. But their total disdain for men, it's total transparent. You can see it right through. They don't even try to hide it at all. I'm not kidding. I remember because this is California. This is the good old USA. And remember whatever happened to women's lib. And I'm a teacher just like them. I'd walk into the class and I'd say, "Oh, can you dump the trash for me while you're here? Oh, there's a cockroach over on the wall. Can you get that for me?" Manipulative. But oh well, I don't want to upset anybody in the chat. I'm so sorry, guys, to go on a rant like that. There are nice women out there somewhere. I just never had the pleasure of meeting them.
Plus, it also depends on where you're at and where you go, too.
You're right. Well, like the teacher lounge, where we're eating lunches, like the lunch, lounge, whatever. That was the majority of your exposure to the other teachers and the other staff members. Other than that, you're busy all day with your own classes and your own business and criteria and all that. So I would be sitting at a table, and this would be a table with like 10 women, a circular table with 10 women around it. I'd be the only man at that table. And they would just be talking about all the horrible manipulative things they would do to their husband to get what they wanted. Oh, well, he wants this from me. He gonna give me this first, and he ain't getting this until I get that. I heard that for years, years and years and years. So, needless to say, that's why I'm not married. I decided that totally soured any hope of me wanting to have any sort of relationship because I realized at a very early age what they're there after, and all they're there is for themselves. But that's my opinion. No offense to anybody in the chat, guys. Sorry about the tangent. Anyway, what are you guys up to tonight?
No, you're all right. I'm gonna have to go do dishes here pretty soon.
Okay, what'd you find for dinner?
What?
What'd you find for dinner? Was it good?
I just made some ham slices that have been sitting in the freezer for a while.
Well, that sounds good. A little ham and eggs, right?
No, I've just fried them in some butter.
I gotta admit that's delicious. Yes, it does. It is delicious. But I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever fried anything in butter because it's so fattening. I had a friend of mine. His name was Ron. He lived in the Bay Area. He was working out at that schoolhouse from the movie The Birds. I don't know if you guys remember, but it's the schoolhouse where everybody comes running out and the birds are chasing and attacking them. And he worked in that. He was a chef in that. It was a restaurant. And he would fry chicken in butter. And he would say, "Here, have some, have some." And it was like, and I'd eat it, and it's like, yeah, that's absolutely amazing. It's delicious. I mean, the guy was a French cook. Unfortunately, he was so heavy from the way he ate and from his diet, he had to sleep sitting up on the couch in the living room. His bed in his room had never been touched in years because he couldn't lay down without suffocating. So it's like I can understand, and it's like when he offered me the fried chicken fried in butter, I was like, oh, I appreciate that, I appreciate it, but I figure one night's not going to kill me, right?
That's when you overdo it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Ugh.
So any of you guys have any plans for tomorrow?
I got to greet the cable guy between 2 and 4.
Tell him to
And
get
do
his
some
ass
more.
in gear and get it done right.
They always do that shit though, don't they? It's like we'll be there between 2 and 4, or 12 and 2, or
Hey,
10 and 12, or they always do that. These damn companies now.
hey,
Yeah,
wait. You can get it narrowed down to 2 hours and you're bitching? I usually
No,
get it.
I wasn't
10 hours.
bitching. I was just responding.
No, because I get the 10-hour window. So 2 hours.
10-hour window.
Yeah, we'll be here between 8 and 4.
Jeez,
Yeah,
So
I heard that.
that's
I
bad.
would love to have a 2-hour window.
Oh, I'm happy. I mean, I'm content with a 2 to 4. Like
Yeah, it's like, oh, but maybe I'll be here between 8 and 10. Maybe I'll meander in and out. Who knows? I'll let you know after I get done taking a nap.
Well, it all depends on how long they get their other jobs done, but I think they
Yeah.
can narrow it down to less than 10 hours.
Well, I'm hoping it's closer to 2 than 4, Gorilla, because we got our Sunday movie happening at 5 Pacific, right? So hopefully they'll have their butts out of here long before that.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of changing up make a slight change to Sunday cinema. Like we still all do our choices, but I think of having like a 4-option poll in the chat. Then each week, the next person just gets to pick what's added to the poll.
Okay,
That's a good idea.
that might work. Unless, so you're saying if it was my pick, there'd be 4 movies in your poll, and I would have to pick one.
Well, it'd be like what's voted on by the people by the people who see the poll.
Okay. What about the having the marathon? So where we do like a series?
Well,
of films?
I'd be putting the franchises on.
Okay.
So like when it comes to my like I want to just do a poll because I can't decide which franchise I want. So I was thinking of putting Jaws. Let's see. There's Jaws, Lord of the Rings. What was it? What was the other two? There. Uh, I can't remember what the other two were right off the top of my head now.
Killer Tomatoes.
We already watched all those.
Okay, that was before my time on your stream then.
Yeah. So
Well, that might be a good idea because I have a hard time coming up with what to pick sometimes. Like I struggled to come up with something that a week ago, and then I thought, well, the two Flint movies are pretty entertaining, so I'd rather do two really good movies than like four kind of crappy ones. So that's what I went with.
well, Smokey and the Band, like when you get to Smokey and the Bandit, you had the first one that was fantastic. The second
Yep.
one was it's okay, a little repetitive, but it's
Uh-huh.
okay. Then the third one, it's like, what the fuck?
Yes.
That's the problem. That's why I didn't go. I looked at half a dozen franchises, Gorilla, like 3 weeks ago, trying to figure out my pick. And I even watched, bits and pieces of some of the films, right? And I'm thinking, okay, the first movie is fantastic, but the second one and the third one, they're kind of like totally mediocre at best. And I'm thinking, do I really want to bore people with mediocre films? So, that's why I ended up going with Flint because it's only two movies, but they're both really good. So,
It's the same cheap cash grab every time. The first movie is successful, and when it is, it usually catches them off guard. They're not usually planning on it, like with Smokey the Bandit, Star Wars, and certain movies like that. But then when it's a hit, a surprise hit, then they get cocky and greedy where they say, "Oh, we can just produce like a shit house. We'll just produce more one after the other after the other." People are stupid. They'll come and pay for it no matter what, and it
well, yeah,
shows.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's why I was conservative when I went with my pick of just two films. But yeah, Gorilla's idea of putting a poll to pick, for each of us to pick from when it's our turn is probably not a bad idea. Though I was kind of thinking, maybe this isn't within the confines of an actual series and sequels, but I was kind of thinking we could like maybe do like a 4 a week a look at certain directors. Like maybe we could do a 4 week on Stanley Kubrick films, or a 4 week on Akira Kurosawa films, or you know that
See,
kind of thing. That could be fun.
the problem is, like me, I don't know many directors and all that, so that'd be like a hard pick for me.
Okay, well, I could always send you some names and you could check them out if
I
you'd
know,
like.
I could picture some actors and all that. Like,
Oh,
you
that'd be good
tell
too.
you,
Like even actors, go with an actor's theme, like 4 movies that an actor did that were worth watching. That could be
yeah,
fun.
yeah, because we did the 4 weeks of Robin Williams there.
Exactly, exactly. That could be really good. Like just pick 4 weeks of whichever actor. Like just get a decent quality actor and pick out four of his good films. That could be fun. I'd watch that.
And which
Yeah.
movies did you see of his Gorilla
Of whose?
of Robert Williams?
Let's see, we did Man of the Year, something where he's a mental doctor and all that. No, I don't think we did Jumanji. I'd have to look here
Did
back
you
on
do,
it.
did you do Bicentennial Man by any chance?
No,
That
No,
movie
I
was okay.
Oh, I think it's a great movie. We actually did it on Jill's Friday stream, and we had a great time discussing it. I'd never seen it, but I watched it, and I was like, "Wow, this is really good, Jill." I was really happy she introduced me to the film because I thought Robin was awesome in that movie.
Uh, I I have seen the movie a few times online.
I
It,
thought
it,
it was
get,
a really interesting film. Go ahead.
it gets boring in some parts, though it does.
I didn't find it boring at all. Maybe, I guess I'm an old geezer, and when I was growing up in the 60s and, a teenager in the 70s, a lot of films were slow paced back then. That's just the way most movies were. And I don't mind a slow paced film at all. To me, it's slow paced and taking time for the story to unfold Whereas I guess maybe some folks might, think it's boring, but that's just my perspective, right, Dan?
Let's see, we had Man of the Year there, Toys,
Toys?
The Dead Poet Society,
Oh yeah.
and then yeah, so Man of the Year, Dead Poet Society, Toys, and then there's that one with the mental hospital,
Okay. You didn't do
Awakenings.
Oh, you did Awakenings. Okay, I really like that one. That's a good one.
Well, you're the one that picked that one, so
Oh, I guess I did. Gosh, I'm forgetting. That's a while back. That's some months ago, right, Gorilla?
about 5 months ago.
Yeah, that's why I'm forgetting. But yeah, that's actually based on a real life doctor. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name now. But that was actually based on a real story that the doctor in real life actually came up with a treatment, and he brought these comatose patients that had been like in comas for like 20 years, and he actually brought them back, to life, so to speak, for a certain number of months, and then of course the treatment started to wear off, and it was kind of a sad ending, but it was still overall a film I thought that was quite joyous about the resilience of the human spirit, and that's why I really like that film a lot.
Well, I think with that one there, the medicine was banned because it was a bad medicine with bad side effects.
I don't think it was so much the side effects that I remember in the film. It was just that the treatment started to lose effect. Like
Oh
after a
yeah,
certain number of months, it just wore off and it wasn't effective anymore.
no, but based on real life, the medicine that they used was actually barred.
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been. Hey, I just got a quick question. And since we're talking movies, what do you guys think of the film Cocoon? I just want a general assessment from you guys if you've seen the movie, because I have not seen it.
Is is that the movie with the guy from Jurassic Park?
Oh, I've never seen it, so I don't know.
I cannot remember the actor's name. I cannot remember that.
You're thinking of Jeff Goldblum, and I think you're thinking of The Fly.
Yeah, I think that's a very different movie than Cocoon from what I've read about it.
Oh, he was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers too. What wasn't he or not?
Yes,
Well,
he
the thing
was a
is,
'78 remake.
So actually, that is the one I'm thinking of him being in right there. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Right, he was in the '78 remake where him and his wife, Angela Cartwright, sorry, Veronica Cartwright, they ran a steam bathhouse in San Francisco. Oh, that's an amazing movie. I want to show that on my stream one of these days. It's such a good movie.
so it is good. Okay, because I got actually I think it was about 5 weeks ago on one of Jill's Friday streams. A fellow from the UK joined the panel, and he works within the film industry, and he was a very interesting fellow. We had a good chat, me and Jill, with him, and he invited us to do Cocoon on one of his Sunday streams, which is actually happening tomorrow, which is kind of bad timing because I got other stuff going on, which I mentioned previously. But Jill's doing it like at 10 a.m. my time, so I could probably do it, but I'm just because it's a 2-hour film, right? So I'm going to have to probably watch it tonight before I go to sleep, and I just want to make sure it's worth watching, like because it's a lot of time. Like that's probably at least a good 4 or 5 hours of the weekend time. So, and we have the time change too tomorrow, right? So we lose an hour. So I'm just
You
kind of
talking about?
debating.
That's
Are you
next
talking about
week.
watching
No,
Cocoon?
Yeah, I'm thinking about watching Cocoon later tonight. Yeah.
If you're a coffee drinker, stock up.
What's that?
If you're a coffee drinker, stock up.
Coffee drinker? Oh, it's a lot of coffee.
No, it's sleeping.
Slow and
boring.
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 Yes.
So it's not good.
It's Ron Howard. So
So
yeah,
it's
imagine a
yeah.
movie, an alien movie directed by Richie Cunningham. Okay, I'll put it that way.
So it's kind of mediocre at best. And I might just tweet Jill and tell her I have to pass because of time wise, because she'll understand if like she always does. But yeah.
The first movie,
Also, another mitigating factor has Steve Guttenberg in it.
That's right. That was the dark spot, the elephant in the room that I couldn't quite go
So
over.
it's not the classic a lot of people rave about.
Oh.
I'm
Well, I
sensing.
guarantee you, every time they rave about it, they're not thinking about Steve Gutenberg. Their mind is blocking that out, I assure you. Because
Okay.
what's good about that movie, and I'll give it praise for, is it has an amazing cast. The old people,
Right.
amazing cast. So it's good. And the sequel was an extreme, highly big disappointment.
Hmm.
But I do recommend watching it at least once. But I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay, so it's good. Oh, I'm undecided then. Gosh, because I really don't know if I want to put the time into it this weekend. Unfortunately, I
Why would
might
it
Well,
just
matter
tweet.
to you?
well,
I might.
it
I-
has Hume Cronin and his wife Jessica Tandy. It has
They're awesome.
Wilford
Yeah.
Brimley, and
Donna
it
Michi,
has what?
Donna Michi,
Yeah, Donna Michi.
Jack Guilford,
Diabetes.
No, that's
and
Wilford Brimley, not Donna Michi.
no, Donna
Yeah,
Michi is the one for Donna Michi is the one for Trading Places, and they said, "Wentworth, your brother's having a heart attack. Fuck him." That was him from the very end of the movie.
Okay, well, I'm still undecided whether I'm going to be able to afford the time, but I might just tweet Jill and say I'll have to take a pass. It's just bad timing,
Well,
basically.
I don't know if I don't know if it helps or not. PvP. Excuse me for the coughing. I don't know if it helps, but it has Raquel Welch's daughter in it.
Okay, well, that's a plus. Yeah, yeah.
And she's known around Hollywood circles as Raquel Welch's daughter.
Okay. I just wish I hadn't. I see. I made this appointment. I phoned the cable company like 9 days ago and made the appointment. And of course, silly me, I'd totally forgotten that Jill had this, stream lined up on the 9th with this guy over in the UK, and I totally forgot to watch the film in the last month. I totally forgot about it completely because I got so busy doing a lot of important stuff I actually really needed to do, which I'm so glad that I got done. And like I feel really good about that. But yeah, I think I might have to just pass on it. But I'm sure Jill and the host will probably understand. So yeah.
PvP. Okay, obviously you know who Raquel Welch is. I mean, I shouldn't have to explain, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember her from that dinosaur movie. What it was 20
Yes,
million years
1 million
BC or
years
whatever.
BC. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, let me put
yeah.
it this way. Let me put it this way. While you're watching Cocoon, you're scratching your head, saying, "That's her daughter." Wait a minute. No, that's not her daughter. Come on, that's her daughter. You
So she's
actually have
not
to look it
curvy.
up. Exactly. The nail
Okay.
right on the head.
Well, there's another reason to take a pass.
All right. And which makes you
Uh,
think that maybe her acting talent was okay. I don't want to knock her for her looks completely, but who knows how far Raquel Welch would have gotten without her looks, right?
well, she had a fantastic body, so I'm sure that didn't hurt her career.
That's what I'm saying. For the daughter, it didn't help at all.
Yeah. Well, she probably didn't do a whole lot of movies, I'm guessing, right?
No, she did not.
Mm.
And once again, as my buddy Stone Racket said, it's got Stephen Gutenberg in it. And it's like, oh, good God, that's right.
Yeah.
You better
Well,
take a pain
I've
pill and a
read.
couple of shots of whiskey for that one.
Yeah, I have read mixed reviews over the years because it's been out a long time since the movie, first came out. So I've heard, good things. I've heard bad things. I've heard mediocre things. So it's one of those films. I got a
It's
feeling I could.
basically if you like the older cast members,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
worth a look.
Yeah, but
nostalgia, right? If you like the nostalgia
Yeah,
of the cast,
uh,
it's worth it.
I need a really solid storyline too. And if it's not a great story, I'm kind of I'll watch it on my own time when I'm not, feeling any pressure. But yeah, if the story's not really there, then I think I'm going to just tweet Jill and say sorry, Jill, I'll have to take a
Well,
pass. But
and you tell them the
Jill's
truth.
cool.
You tell them the truth. Say, I'm sorry, but the cable guy's here, putting in a new
Yeah,
modem and so forth. Fill in the blanks.
yeah. I'm going to tweet her later tonight after the stream, after we're done here, guys, and I'll just say sorry, and you know put the facts in like you just mentioned, Pop. Jill's
And I
always
will,
cool though. Jill's always
and I
cool.
will mention also that was Ron Howard's most successful movie to date, and probably he will not surpass it.
Hmm. Yeah, Ron Howard's a mixed bag. I probably enjoyed some of his films over the years, and other ones I thought were garbage. So yeah, it's a mixed bag.
I would be hard pushed to pick out something good. I really, for me, what really pushed it over the edge where I cannot stand him, and
Uh
I've not
huh.
liked him ever since, and that was The Grinch. I hate that movie so much.
Oh,
I have not been able
yeah,
to watch anything that he has made since then, and I won't.
yeah. I've heard
I
nothing
remember
but
when,
bad reviews of that film.
yeah, I remember when he was going around the press circuit when they were promoting the movie when it was coming out, and of course, 100% cash grab. And they asked him, the reporter asked him, why is it called The Grinch and not The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, like in the book? He goes, well, I wanted to be able to get the little kids to pull the toys off the aisle. I want the little kids to see the word Grinch and understand what that means. And it's like, yeah, you're going to be every parent's worst fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his filmography here on Wiki, and oh my, it's really pretty damn mediocre, to be honest. Like,
I
It
you'll
is.
I didn't I didn't get a Grinch for Christmas.
I didn't get a Grinch. No, it's not for Christmas.
Uh,
Remember, you're
and
too stupid to say Grinch for Christmas. It's just Grinch.
No,
that
and
I mean a toy Grinch.
I'm
well,
shocked. I'm shocked at
Oh,
how boring his filmography. The only film I see here that I actually really thought was good was Apollo 13. I did think that was a very good movie
paint by
because,
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah,
well, I was
They,
that's a good movie. I like it.
okay,
well,
okay.
I was a kid when that actually happened. I was like, I don't know, 8 years old or whatever it was. Was it 68, 69? I can't remember exactly, but
70,
oh,
1970.
70. Okay, I would have been like 12 then, I guess. But I'll never forget the night, they got home safely, or the day they got home safely. And it was on all the media, of course. It's like, they're back, they're safe. Well, like, the whole world. I mean, that was one of the few times in my life I can remember the entire planet is seemingly united and cheering and happy about these three guys getting back to our planet, safe and sound. And it was quite a week, I gotta say. That was quite a week.
Yeah,
You
that was
know.
pretty intense because they were talking about if their reentry was too shallow,
Yeah.
they'd skip off the atmosphere and be lost in
In
space.
right,
space.
right, horribly lost in
And
space.
if they came in too steep, they would burn up in the atmosphere. So I'm like, oh no.
It's a perfect story for a movie like that. That was the one Ron Howard movie I gotta say was A
Well,
plus
see, that's
plus.
that's the point. Is it's a pay by number script. They could have handed it to Ed Wood, and he could have made him a good movie out of it.
Well, I don't know if I go quite that far, Pop.
Well, you think of all the movies.
That would have been interesting, though.
There's been so many movies where you had a shit can director. I mean, a good director, and they gave him a horrible script, and they turned it into a good movie. That's happened many times. Stanley Kubrick, The Shining, for example.
Oh yeah.
John Carpenter, Christine, for example.
Right. Right.
But then, but what Ron Howard made, it was like, is paint by numbers. It was like, were there any scenes you guys were surprised? Was there any suspense? We knew the whole story.
Yeah, but it's
I don't
based
know.
on a true story. So what do you want? I mean,
It was a good movie, though. I
it's
thought there was
based on a
Well,
true story, and
I know.
even the critics they were like, wait a minute, you know, the Lovell's wife losing her wedding ring in the shower, that actually happened, and they were saying, oh, that was made up by Ron Howard and his crew. And it's like, no, that actually happened. If you read Lovell's book, so I don't think it's a paint by numbers. It's a true story. They did exaggerate a little bit here and there for dramatic purposes, so I can fault them for that. But I think it's a solid movie.
Well, the thing is, I remember as a kid that lived through that experience, through that 9 days or whatever it was that they were in jeopardy of perishing. Um, I thought there was a lot in the movie that played true to me, like the family stuff, the stuff at NASA, the stuff in the Apollo. I mean, I just found it very real to me. It was real. I mean, I was like reliving my childhood, right, watching that film, and to me, it was a very emotional experience. So I have to go with Stone Racket. I think they might have exaggerated for dramatic purpose
I
in
mean,
some scenes.
some of the exterior shots with the craft, it's just like, well, no, it wasn't quite like that, but
Right.
they had to goose it a little bit,
Yeah.
for drama.
Well, for the audience to get the
Yeah,
audience, yeah. But I thought it was an
I thought it
excellent
was
film.
carried by the actors
Oh, the
myself.
cast
So
the cast
yeah,
was like even the ladies that played the wives I thought were superb, right? The
yeah,
families,
yeah,
you know. I just couldn't fault any of it. I really can't. I think it's an A movie for sure. At least to me it is.
yeah. It's the only one of his
Only one
from his
for yeah,
for
yeah,
Ron Howard, because he's
yeah.
he's nothing to shout about. He's not, according to well, I can quote Andrew Saris and his auteur theory, uh, or I guess his stealing of the auteur theory from the French, but he wouldn't put Ron Howard in the pantheon of directors.
No, I think Ron Howard's career is mediocre at best, and I'm
Of
being
course,
generous.
he put Kubrick in less than meets the eye in his book.
What?
Yeah,
Shame
so
on him.
yeah, for shame. And
Kubrick is my favorite
same with
director.
John Huston. He wasn't in the pantheon either. But I'm like,
Oh, that's
no, I
bad.
have to disagree with that.
Yeah, Houston and Kubrick should definitely be at the top. I'd put Kurosawa up there too. That's my preference.
Yeah, I think Sarah's put him in the pantheon along with Howard Hawks, John Ford, Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, those are all good directors. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so my question for you guys: what modern directors would you put up there?
Oh my.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I'd go with
True,
Nolan.
true.
You know, my favorite Nolan film, guys, is Memento. I don't know if you've heard of that film because it was
Yeah, I
kind of
like
before.
Memento.
I love that movie, and it's because it's so strange because it's totally it's all out of sync, right? Like the scenes are not in order,
It's
so you
backwards.
really,
It's totally
yeah,
backwards.
but you really got to use your brain and you got to pay attention to follow the story, right? Which I just love that. I mean, I love that movie the first time I saw it.
PvP defined by modern directors. What do you mean by that? Can you give it the what year gap are you talking about?
I think it was Stone Record that talked about modern directors. I don't think I mentioned them per
It
se,
was
but
Pop. Pop asked
was it Pop? Okay.
top directors
Yeah,
that are top modern
Oh,
directors.
gee.
So
Give
Well,
me give me a
ask,
minute.
yeah, ask.
Well, yeah. What's modern?
yeah. What is it? What's
Well,
modern?
maybe
any
Pop
movie
means
made after 1999 or 2000. I'll put it that way. How's that?
So
yeah.
you're
There you
Does that
go.
talking
help?
21st century directors, basically.
Right, but I
Well, in
want to
that case,
include right.
then beyond Chris Nolan, I am no other director. Talking before that, I would have done Steven Spielberg before that.
Oh, he goes
I
back
know.
to the 70s.
Spielberg used to be my absolute favorite director. When I was a kid, I aspired to be like him. I took film study and all these film courses because I wanted to be exactly like Steven Spielberg. And he has since shit the bed. The guy is a hack now. He's a 100% hardcore flaming liberal. So no, and not only that, let's not forget everybody. He introduced Hollywood to J.J. Abrams. God bless him for that, right?
Yeah, J.J. Abrams and his ilk are a scourge on humanity as well as Hollywood.
Right. And
Well,
what the experience that J.J. Abrams had that earned him all this pantheon of wealth and riches? He was Steven Spielberg's babysitter.
Well,
well, there's, there's
wasn't
also
doesn't Spielberg go back to like 71 or something with Duel, the TV movie?
Well, he
he
made
goes
a
back.
few
He
TV
goes
movies
back
before Duel.
farther than that. His his big gig was from '69. It was the pilot film for Night Gallery.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Was that the one with Joan Crawford?
Right.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
called Eyes.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's blind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I I think of him as a 20th century director, even though he's still going. But most of his decent work was back in the last century for me.
Yeah, I would say that after Jurassic Park and Schindler's List, he did not make any more notable movies after those.
Well, he got to the point where he was chasing after that almighty Oscar all the time. He used to be a director that us geeks could aspire to be, like with Raiders of the Lost Ark and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, that was all the cool stuff. But as soon as he started chasing that almighty Oscar for Best Director, that was all out the window.
Well, the last film of Spielberg's I absolutely love was Empire of the Sun. I was at art college then, and I think that was '89 when it came out or something around there. And I just think that's a fantastic film. I mean, that was what, a J.G. Ballard novel it was based on or something, if I remember. I think that's a fantastic movie. Like, it's all about when the Japanese invaded Hong Kong, and the British, the way the British, suffered under those circumstances. And it starts off, of course, the British are privileged and they live in the good area of the city, and they're kind of like spoiled brats, really. And then, of course, the Japanese, fly in with their, planes and start attacking, and their soldiers move in, and it's all chaos and horror. And then we follow basically I guess it's mainly we follow one boy in his family's experience surviving in the concentration camp, and I think it's an incredible film. And at the end, I think there's the atomic bomb, and it's quite a movie.
PvP, tell them who plays the child, the main character.
Oh, I shouldn't remember this, and I'm forgetting. Oh,
Christian Bale.
Bale, that's the guy. Yeah,
I was just gonna ask PvP that and tell you beat me to it, Stone Racket.
Yeah, very young.
Yeah, you got to be quick with the trivia.
Yeah, I forgot. I knew it was a very famous actor. I just couldn't remember.
Christian Bale as a kid, and it's like, he's really good in that movie.
He's awesome. Yeah, it's a really great film. Like,
and,
I remember
David Bowie is also in it.
That's right. And I remember, I was at art college then, and we had a lady there that was kind of like, I guess she wasn't a teacher, but she was some kind of supervisor and kept a lot of stuff running. And she was kind of a hard nose, right? I never really got along with her. And then I remember talking with her in the hallway. I said, "Have you seen Empire of the Sun? That's really good." And she's like, "No, I'll go check it out." And then like a couple days later, she walks up to me and she goes, "Oh, thank you. That's such a good movie." Like, she was like buddy after that, right? Which was cool.
Well, you should have said, "Hey, there's another great movie. Would you like to go see it with me?" You should have.
Well, yeah, I know. I was too much into my studies,
Or too much in love with yourself, in other words.
No. I've always been quite humble, actually. But I gotta say, we did go to a Christmas dance later that year, and we were all having a few. And she came up to me and gave me a big cuddle, and put her hands around me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I'm, stupid me. Instead of asking her to dance, I just sat down. It's like, oh, I was a moron back then. I admit it. Yeah. Oh well. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm not going to dwell on it.
Tell me, if there was a drinking game and how many times you missed, we probably will all be drunk by you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And don't feel bad, PvP. It'd be the same with me. I'd have everybody drunk.
I was an idiot back in my 20s and early 30s. Like, I was just totally. Well, remember that episode with Kirk when that was shore leave, right? And Finnegan says, "Oh, you were grim. You were just totally into your books or whatever." And Kirk's like, "Yeah, I got to admit I was," and that was me. I was Kirk with my nose in a book and trying to get good marks. And I mean, I had a few chances with some amazing women, and by the time I realized what was going on, they had moved on to somebody else. I was like, "Oh, I'm a moron."
Yeah, I think what the episode you're thinking of is Where No Man's Gone Before, where Gary Mitchell says, "Look out for Lieutenant Kirk." You know, you stack a book with legs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that one too. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one too. Yeah. Yeah, I missed a few good chances for sure.
I missed more than a few.
Oh well, I'm too old to try and harbor regrets anymore. I'm trying to let those float away in the past
Yeah,
stream of life.
I'm way past my prime.
I'm
So
bad. I'm past at my best before date for sure.
Hey,
Okay,
Gorilla, how
silent.
are you doing? You
Okay,
still with us, sir?
Yeah, I'm still here.
how you
Okay, I
doing,
know it's
Gorilla?
late for you. I appreciate it.
You sound
Yeah.
tired there, Gorilla. You sound like you need to take a snooze soon.
Oh yeah, I gotta go test out my new pillow.
Wow, that's nice. New pillow. That sounds good.
Literally brand new.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to the dollar store, bought it this morning here. That I told Owen here because he wasn't paying attention. I was like, "Hey, come here, I got to test something." And so he me really wanders over. And goes, "What?" I picked up the pillow, just whacked him in the side of the head with it.
So
I
you
got
got
tired
pillow?
of I got tired of buying pillows because you buy them and they're flat with less than a year. They're flat, where you have to fold them up 2 or 3 times, and then that would give me a neck ache because they were stacked. So I went on to Amazon and I bought a pillow that basically comes with a pillow and a huge plastic bag of filling, and that way I can, no matter how long I had that pillow, I can always add stuffing to it. That was the best purchase I ever did. It was around the same cost as a medium cost pillow at Walmart. Like it was like $30, but it came with like I said, a big bag of stuffing, so it'll last me indefinitely. Pretty much, it'll never go flat. And because that's
Huh.
what I got tired of. I got tired of buying pillows that go flat.
so what?
Seriously, and
Well,
they're just
So
nuts.
if I did I understand this right? Your pillow came with an extra bag of stuffing.
Correct. Yes.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
I haven't bought
Yeah. It has.
pillows
It
for
has.
like
It has a zipper.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Go
So you
ahead.
just keep adding to it, and it's nice
yeah,
and fluffy.
I haven't had to
I
add to it
haven't.
yet. I've had it for two
Oh,
2 years.
okay.
Honestly, I made it nice and right where I wanted it, and I haven't had to add any since. But I still have the bag of filling and storage of it. If I ever need to add more, I can.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I haven't bought a new pillow for like 7 years, so it's about time.
Whatever
Yeah.
works for you.
So
So your old pillow was starting to talk to you at night, was it, Gorilla? And you thought it's
well,
time. It's time to move on.
I've been
Me,
waking up
me.
with headaches, so
Well, that's because your old pillow was talking to you when you were asleep. It's going, okay, Gorilla, it's time. I'm old. I need to be replaced with a new pillow. I'm going to send vibes to give you headaches when you wake up.
yeah. This is the
Now
feather
I'm scared.
Well, I used to have my feather pillow there, but that you never needed replacing. There was always fluffed up, but problem is
Mhm.
that ends of the feathers kept poking me.
Ouch. I think I got my pillow's a down pillow and it's still pretty fluffy. I've had it for years and it's actually held up really well. Gives me a good night's sleep anyway.
Ugh.
But you got a brand new one. Okay, that's really great, Gorilla.
Yeah, so oh
Do you ever find though it takes a few days or weeks to break a new pillow in because it's too fluffy?
yeah, this was a firm one, so it's gonna take a while.
Okay. Did you say you got that at the dollar store?
Yeah, for $10.
Wow, we don't have pillows at our dollar stores.
No, that's because your dollar stores suck.
Well, they kind of do actually. They used to be dollar stores where you could buy great stuff for $1 like 4 or 5 years ago. And now I go in there and stuff is like $4, $5. It's like, guys, you need to change your name because you're not the dollar store anymore.
Or $1.25.
It's like the multi-dollar store.
Well, the problem with our town right now is we just got a Dollar General here a few years ago. And it's been doing pretty good there, and now Dollar Tree / Dollar Family Dollar are building a dollar store in the town. So basically, they're going to be competing for business, and we're going to have. And I don't think our town could really support $2 stores because we're only 1,500 some people.
Take advantage while you can, because they'll probably cut each other's throats with low prices for a few months before one goes under, Gorilla. So I'd say that could benefit you. You might get some bargains.
I don't know if we'll get bargains, but because Dollar Tree is
Yeah.
famous for being the dollar store, everything was $1. But then they because of inflation, they had to raise it to $1.25. Now it's up to $1.75, and then they combined with Family Dollar. So, and we have a Family Dollar in every town surrounding me. So it's like there's one. So basically, it's almost pointless to have it.
So it's too much competition, is what you're saying.
Yeah, too many. What we really need in this town is a place that sells fried chicken.
Yeah, that sounds like a missed opportunity. You think a good fried chicken person would move in and make a lot of money, right?
Well, someone says they have it down at Dudley's, but it's like I'm not going to Dudley's because as soon as I heard that their drinks were $8, I was like, yeah, I don't even got to bother looking at their menu.
No, I would never. I never go to a nightclub or bar for drinks. It's just overpriced. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I go to the bar. Go to the bar is not the issue. The issue is the price of when you got they're trying to sell drinks for $8 a piece.
No, it's ridiculous. It's too much. By the way, my local town has the Dollar Tree, the Dollarama, and something called Your Dollar Store for more.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. You have your town of like 200,000 people, ain't it?
Around 170,000.
So yeah, $3 stores. That's not bad at all.
No, but Dollarama's got like 4 stores here, so it works out to like 6 or 7 stores through the whole city. Dollarama is everywhere. There's one 2 blocks away from me, and there's like 3 other ones, all around the city. Actually, there's a second one like 5 blocks away from me. It's like Starbucks, right? They got them everywhere.
What's a Starbucks?
You don't know about Starbucks?
No, you said there's Starbucks. They're everywhere. What's a Starbucks?
Seattle Coffee.
Yeah, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, PvP. We don't have Starbucks here.
Yeah, I think Starbucks wants to rule the planet, don't they? Like they're everywhere, it seems to me.
Well, there's like 87 of them in Seattle.
Not San Francisco. Not San Francisco. They're closing there because people turn them into a walk-through robbery store. So yeah, I thought that's really funny and ironic.
Well, I remember.
You mean like a stop and rob?
Pretty much, yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's what we called a Quick Trip, and that kind of store is always this. They always stop and rob them.
Well, we didn't have those nicknames for a Quick Trip there, but you can I'll let your imagination run wild. What some of the nicknames we had for the Come and Go gas stations.
Come and rob.
No, the gas stations are called Come and Go.
So they'd be like Come and Rob.
Never mind, PvP. Jesus.
I want to know. I haven't heard from Nemesis. I want to know about.
Yeah, Nemesis has been very quiet.
Nemesis, does your pillow talk to you?
No, my pillow is very loyal and stays silent at night.
There you go.
Well, that's because he has his 9mm pressed up against it, so I stay quiet.
Nemesis, does your pillow? Is there a designer pillowcase or a movie tie-in pillowcase that you have?
No, God, no! I'm not that fancy.
You don't have a Star Wars pillowcase or?
No.
That's good. Okay, I'm relieved.
I have never bought that kind of stuff because
No, neither have I. I'm just being silly.
you're going to end up spending 2 or 3 times the amount because of the name brand on it.
Yeah.
So my pillows are plain white or plain black.
Yep.
Plain black is what I got.
Yep. That's
We've only bought
mine's black on one side and blue on the other.
well,
Exactly.
Oh man.
I've only ever bought one designer or pillow with the design on it. That was for the kids' bedding set there for Christmas there, and there's the PJ Masks one.
Yeah, I have this
Star Wars.
No, PJ Masks. That's
Wait, I'm
modern day.
confused. Is that sorry, go ahead.
PJ Masks is a kids modern day kids show. That my kid really like.
It sounds like PJ Maxx. There's a store called that.
No,
Okay,
PJ Masks, MASKS.
Got it. So tomorrow your stream is officially at what time, Gorilla?
7 o'clock.
That's
Your
Central
time, which is
that's Central.
yeah.
It'd be 5 Pacific, so it'd be 6 Mountain.
Yes, and of course we're gonna have to redo all that factoring. Sorry, we're gonna have to redo all that factoring starting Monday, of course, when they do the time, or actually tomorrow night, I guess. Oh, tonight. It's actually Saturday night at 2 a.m. I think is when we set the clock.
I think it's
isn't
at
it?
2 a.m. tonight. Yeah, on Sunday morning.
I'm almost tempted to stay up just late enough to watch it physically change on my phone and computer. I'm very tempted.
Oh, there you go. Always gives you something to strive for.
There was this one time, this is years ago, it was someone on CNN when it was time for to adjust our clocks. This guy actually said, and I think it was their weather guy, but they said, remember you have to change your clock at 2 a.m. or it doesn't count.
What?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you betcha.
That's
right.
Bizarre.
It counts. It's just that you're going to miss a lot of your appointments.
That's right.
You know what? People nowadays would sue him for that for false.
Well, he laughed when he said it, and everybody else laughed. It was the good old '80s, so you get away with all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, back when you could make a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making a joke.
And not worry about getting sued or hurting someone's feelings. Or
you didn't have to flash a disclaimer on the screen and run a banner on the bottom.
Right. That's right.
Oh, jeez.
Caution, trigger warning.
Right.
Well, what I like about computers is it automatically changes on my old PC here. So all I have to do is go and change the clock out in the kitchen. And of course, I'll probably forget for like 4 days before I do that. But hey, I'm old, so
Yeah, I've got one clock that I have to manually set. No, wait a minute. That's right. Arizona, we don't change our time here, so never mind.
You don't change your time? Wow, you lucky guy.
Yep. The time it is right now is the time it will be next week.
There you go.
Darn. So you're still going to have that extra hour that we're all going to be missing.
Well, yeah.
You lucky guy.
Hold on, Pops. Is that really correct?
Oklahoma. Apologize for the stupidity. Arizona and Hawaii are the only 2 states that do not change their clocks.
It's like here in
Canada.
Canada.
There's another one, Illinois.
Now in Pop in Arizona, there is a place that they do change their clocks. I do believe that's the
there might
Navajo.
Be a town, I think I heard.
Navajo reservation.
Yeah, the Navajo Nation. Yeah, you're right. That's right.
Yeah,
there is one area.
Because I remember we didn't have to change our clocks. Then once we were camping at Monument Valley, we had to change our clocks again.
Yeah,
that's on the Navajo lands there, and they run that park.
There are some quirky time things across North America. Yeah, it's like Saskatchewan. I do make calls into Saskatchewan on my job, and I don't think they're going to be changing, but they might be an hour ahead, so I'm going to have to take a look at that. when I start my calls this week.
Yeah, you got to double check that. Make sure you're not
Yeah.
ticking anybody off.
Well, yeah, because we don't want to call past 8 o'clock at night, right? And I think currently for the last number of months they've been 2 hours ahead. So I'm guessing they might be an hour ahead because Saskatchewan's got a very weird time system, though. They don't change like the rest of us do in Canada and even the US. They got their own little system there. So I'm going to have to do a check on Monday morning with my boss before I start making calls. But it's no big deal. I'll figure it out.
I certainly hope so.
Oh, well, I hope so too.
Well, if you call and wake them up to say, "What are you doing in bed? Get your ass out of bed."
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, I do well. I bet I wouldn't last a week if I started talking to people like that.
Yeah. Hello, this is your wake up call.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I
really.
know there's a guy I know. He worked for telemarketing for a little while there. You kind of wish they could just swear back at the people, because that's how they do. Good. Then they'd probably be able to hold them on the phone longer, maybe actually make a sale. When people are going, my bill is too fucking high. Then at least then he can respond, you're absolutely right. Your bill is too fucking high. Let me see what we
Right.
can do for you.
The way you get around it when you get an obnoxious customer, I've learned, is you say, you know what? You are entitled, self-entitled bitch, asshole, prick, cunt, motherfucker. That's what my friend John said, but I don't think so. I think you're really sweet.
Well, we've got to be diplomatic. I've
I
very
know.
rarely,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, I've
No,
very
but
rarely. I'd say 99.9% of people I talk to are pretty reasonable. Even the grouchy guys I get is like, I'm retired. I'm 68 years old. I got everything set. I don't need to have a meeting. And they hang up in your ear, and I'm like, "Oh, have a nice day, sir." And
Right.
I put exactly what they said in my call note, and then I log it in, and it's like, and I go on to the next call because after 4 years, I do not take any of it personally anymore. It just I'm
I
like
would
a duck.
call
I'm like a duck with the water, right?
I would call him back and say, "This is your gravestone calling. When are you gonna come and see us?"
well,
No,
PvP,
I get fired. They log the calls, and my boss can listen to them. I'd get my ass fired so quick if I did that. So
well,
I
that's why PvP. That's why you do it on your last day.
well,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
but I'm not in
true.
my last day yet. That's probably a couple of years away because
Right.
I still got to work, unfortunately. But yeah, most people are great though. Like 99% of people are they're fantastic. Like even if they're not interested, they're polite and they'll go, "Oh, I just really don't have any interest in meeting with so and so agent." I'm like, "Okay, thank you for your time, sir. Have a nice day." And I hang up, and that's the end of it, right? And then you get those awesome people that are like super friendly, and they're like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and you end up talking with them for like 3 or 4 minutes and have a great conversation. And then, of course, those are the people you usually get to book a meeting with. So that's good because the more meetings you book, the better you're doing on my job, right? And those are the people that make my day, right? When you get a really, lovely, awesome person that's super friendly and super easy to talk to. And I'd say maybe that's 10% of the people I talk with, but those are the people that can really make your day. So yeah, it's a good job overall.
PvP, of course, is a good job. Of course, people are polite. It's because you're up in Canada, you're not in the U.S.
Yep.
Because PvP, you haven't had me on the end of the phone when I get those unwanted phone calls.
Well, I'm glad.
I scarred that one guy for life, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, I just want to mention to Sithdown, though, most of my agents are based in the USA. I've only have one guy that's in Canada. So I am calling across, the US every week. And I talk to a lot of Americans. Of course, they don't know I'm calling from Canada because we use a local number that the agents provide, right? A local number in their territory. So, I mean, people just don't realize I'm even Canadian. But
So you're the one spoofing the phone number that keeps calling me about my extended warranty?
No, I don't talk about warranties. That's somebody different.
At least you're speaking English, PvP, instead of the assholes from like Bangladesh and India calling, yeah, we're right here in the U.S. Yeah, we're in the New York City. Yeah, right.
Well,
Hello, my name is Mike.
that's actually
Uh-huh.
why that's the reason why our company has actually grown a lot in 4 years since I began my job, is because the only competition we have is a call service based in the Philippines. And a lot of the agents tried the Philippine call center because they were cheaper, lower price than us, of course. Because I guess people call it, the workers in the
Of
Philippines get
course.
paid. They get paid dirt, right, compared to what we get.
Yes.
But a lot of those agents said that's garbage, and they gave up and they switched to us, right? Because we're Canadian, right? We're like we're pretty much like the U.S. Like we're pretty similar, right, guys? Like, and so there's no problem with the language barrier. There's no problem with the cultural barrier because I understand American culture well enough to negotiate when I mean, I've even had people on the phone, like probably a half a dozen times over the years. And they go, "Where are you based?" And we're honest, right? We'll tell them if they ask where. I say, "Well, I'm calling out of Canada. I'm actually calling from British Columbia in Kelowna." And get this, I've had numerous times when the guy will say, "Oh, Kelowna, I know Kelowna. I've been to Kelowna. I got to the ski hills there. I've been skiing there." And then we get into like a 10-minute conversation that we have a great conversation, right? Because he's totally on and on about Kelowna. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, how about Kelowna? I know Kelowna. I got kicked out of the bar over there in Kelowna.
Yeah, pretty much. It just goes on and on. Fortunately, those guys, I generally get a booking, so it's worth my time, right? Because, but it's amazing how many people that ask, where are you based? And I'll say Kelowna. And they're like, oh, I've been there. And I'm like, I'm kind of shocked, actually. But I guess, Kelowna is like a big ski destination in the winter. So I'm not totally shocked that a lot of
Not
Americans
not here
know
in
it.
Iowa.
Well, yeah, but, I'm out west. I'm in BC.
Our
I'm
Kelowna is a lot different than your Kelowna.
okay.
My Kelowna.
My,
Hey,
PvP.
My Kelowna.
my Kelowna. That sounds like a knack song. Oh, that's good.
PvP. Well, how far do your communication tendrils stretch in the U.S.?
How long? What?
How far do your guys' communications lines reach into the U.S. everywhere, or do you guys just cover the Midwest?
Well, I just have the numbers the agents provide in my folder. I've got their numbers printed out, and I have a California guy, and a lot of my guys. I have a Florida guy. Well, that's the furthest east. Then I have a couple of guys in New Jersey, so they're at Eastern time as well. I've got a guy in Missouri. He's 2 hours ahead of me. And I do have my one Canadian guy in Saskatchewan, which they have the weird time stuff. So that's the one I'm going to have to really check because everybody else I'll just move them an hour ahead, right? But Saskatchewan, I got to check. So yeah, I've got different numbers for all different states.
I gotta check out here. Call it a night, but
all right.
Oh, okay.
thanks again, Pop, for having me, and I'm glad
Oh,
you could make your rumblings from the lab, and I'll be continuing to pray for you in your situation.
thank you.
I hope you
Yeah.
get. I hope this newest treatment does the trick, and you go into remission real quick. And I just I hope your pain is relieved and goes away completely. I'll be praying for all of that.
Appreciate that. And I should be, I'm striving to do my stream on Monday for Lost Space. I hope you can join us for that.
Yeah, I'll try to get my homework done tomorrow for both your
Oh,
stream and Jill's stream. So
every,
yeah, that episode. All I gotta say is a giraffe.
Oh
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, what I like about the episode is he finally gets to play a different character, right? Like kinda.
Kinda, yeah.
But yeah, yeah. I won't I don't want to ruin it though, so I won't go into.
Yeah, I
any
haven't seen
detail.
it for years, but I do remember the giraffe.
I actually remembered it quite well because I remember a gunslinger riding a giraffe. Okay, that's stuck in my memory.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like the version of the Way of the Gun.
Oh, it was
Oh,
Even down to
weird.
the
yeah.
set
Very
design
strange.
where there was bare sets. They just had props in the black room.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It
But
was. It was.
before
It was an entertaining weird one for sure.
So
before you
is Lost in Space Spectre of the Gun before Star Trek Spectre of the Gun? Is that what you're saying?
yes,
Yeah.
and
You know.
I wanted to shout out. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's interesting Stone Racket mentioned Spectre of the Gun because when I watched the Lost in Space one with the Western one like a week ago, I was thinking this is like Spectre of the Gun. The only difference is the sets are both kind of similar, like they're very sparse in the Western town. The only difference was Spectre of the Gun did the story really, really well, and Lost in Space did the story not quite so well
Well, it was
when
very
I was
juvenile.
watching it.
It was
So
juvenile.
yeah,
But I wanted to ask Gorilla really quick before Stone Racket leaves. Gorilla, people have been having trouble with that Soap Today link because they're getting flooded with and inundated with spam. So when you and I get a chance, we need to try to figure out a better site and an easier site for them to use.
For Lost in Space or altogether?
Altogether.
Well, look movie 2 is pretty good, but Soap Today works
Well,
really great if you have uBlock Origin ad blocker.
let's talk about it tomorrow night or whatever during your stream if you want, because that way I can write all this down. Right now, my mind is kind of out of it. But if we
Okay.
could talk about it tomorrow, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
go
Lost
ahead.
in Space, you're not gonna find much for better one because it's not on Look for Movie 2 and Up Movie 1, 2, 3 movies and M4 UHD. You're gonna have the same issue if you do not have an ad blocker. You need to have an ad blocker like uBlock Origin or Brave browser there, or else you're
Well,
gonna run into those ads.
some people do have the blocker. Like Stone Racket was talking about, he had no problems up until about 2 weeks ago, and then that's when it started flooding him with ads and spam
Well,
and hijacking him and taking him to the sites.
yeah, it would open up another window, and I would just shut it down right away. But because
Right.
I have an ad blocker, I can't watch anything now on it. It's just a blank screen.
Exactly.
I just want to mention I'm still using the Microsoft Edge, my default browser when I go on that site, and I have ad blocker too, Stone Racket, and I never have an issue. It plays fine for me. So
Yeah,
I
it's Stone
mean,
Well,
Racket
tell,
on
you know,
tell, tell you
on the
what,
Macintosh.
tell you what, PvP, try it now.
okay, I haven't
Yeah,
tried it lately.
Yeah, try it now because this is fairly recent for me that where nothing works at all.
Okay, because
but
yeah, I
Well,
watched it a
if
week
it works
ago.
for you
Hey.
guys, I'll have to. I don't
Oh,
know.
hey, so when did it stop working for you, Stone Dark and Soap Today?
Let's see. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. Was the
Wow.
last
That
2 weeks ago on a Sunday was the last time I had no issue at all. So actually, yeah, it was the week that Dune Part 2 premiered was when I couldn't get anything to play.
okay?
So
I wonder if they were part of that string of hacks that servers down that happened.
yeah, I don't know. I just tried it earlier today, and I'm getting the same thing.
I
Nothing will
don't know.
play. I'll just get a black screen, and
Well, we will definitely work on it and find an alternative.
yeah, I hope so. That'd be great. But in the meantime, I've got my Blu-rays for Star Trek and Lost in Space, so I'll just go
I
back
know,
to
but
those.
I want you to see the horror Frankenstein.
Oh, I'm going to be passing on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you come up with a classic sci-fi, I'll be there. But yeah, I'm not so hot on the old horror movies unless it's
Okay.
something really, really, really old.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry about that. I'm just not
Oh
into
no,
the
it's fine.
not into the horror movies, except if we're like talking about classic Universal or Val Lewton. So
Got it.
some stuff from the 30s and 40s is more my speed.
Sounds
But
good.
but anyway, you all take care, especially you, Pop, and we'll be
Well,
seeing
thank
you.
you.
We'll be seeing you soon on the next stream.
Absolutely. Take care. Thank you for being
Okay.
here.
See
Yeah,
you
thank
around.
you for having me, and everybody. You have a great rest of the stream and a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, you too, Stone Rocket.
Okay. Good night now.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Night, Stone Rocket. I'm probably gonna be heading out here too, pretty quick, Pop. I gotta work in the morning.
Yeah, I probably should wrap this up here soon. I know it's late. But before I do, how are we doing on the chat, Gorilla?
Oh, we're
I
way
at least wanna-
behind.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Daniel's
I'm
Hot
sorry,
Topics
guys.
just showed up, I think. Or no, he's been here
Hello,
for a while.
Daniel.
A little bit.
It's so good to see you. Daniel's excited because they're going to be making a legacy sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Quiet, quiet, cricket. So I guess nobody
Never
knows what that
watched it.
is.
Oh, I know what it is. I just never
saw
watched it.
Never saw it either. Never saw it.
That's okay. But I did do a shout out for you, Daniel. There you go. But yeah, let's get caught up on the chat and then I'll wrap this up and say goodnight to everybody. If you could help me, Gorilla, I'd really appreciate it.
All right, Basil says, I know the feeling, man. I have stacks of stuff all over the place, huh? And Scurry says, I had a stack of papers on my desk and accidentally knocked most of it onto the floor. I was like, wow, look at how much I got done. And Greg says, wow, Pop. And Kaki says, hey, guys, so sorry you have to go through this, Pop. I pray it gets better. And
Thank
Basil
you.
says,
Thank you. That really means a lot to me. Thank you.
good God, Pop, I'm sorry you're having to deal with this. You got a raw deal for sure.
Oh well,
It looks
nobody's
really
fault but my
bad.
own. Yeah, I'll accept the deal that I was given, or the hand that I was dealt. So it's okay. But thank you, though. I really do appreciate it, guys. It's
Basil
funny
says,
because every time I go to my doctor's appointment every week, the first thing out of her mouth is, "Have you been feeling suicidal? Have you any thoughts about ending it all?" Oh God, it's like, I guess I should, but thank you for the encouragement. Sorry, go ahead, Gorilla.
yeah, that's what I will told him. I haven't decided which method yet.
Well, I've got
And,
enough pills. I guess I can make it really easy.
yeah. And Basil says, you have a reason to be mad. The whole thing is a sad affair. Sounds like someone is very incompetent, of course. It makes me wonder if you were not a Canadian, would you be treated like that?
A Caucasian, and no, I would not be treated that
All
way.
Caucasian. And just
A
think it out
Caucasian,
loud.
or I'll say the opposite gender.
Yeah, Basil says, yes, that's bullshit, Pop. And Basil says it's going to get worse. The illegal aliens are going to be getting first priority over American citizens more and more, thanks to
That's
the
exactly
scumbags.
right.
But I think Arizona's doing something about that.
Well, they're trying to. I don't know how much it'll help, but they've got to the point. A lot of what they're doing is you're not hearing about it, but what the government agencies are doing is they're putting these illegals up in these high-rise fancy hotels, and that's not right, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I'd be pissed if we got all these homeless vets on the streets there. We got all these illegal aliens are getting $10,000 debit cards, plus
Yes.
the hotel rooms that cost like $500 a night, plus all their meals paid for. Fuck them.
Room service, literally room service.
Have you guys heard about what's going on in Ireland with this shit?
Oh, they're rioting over it.
Well, shit, there's all these illegal immigrants pouring across the border. They're putting it up in hotels. They're paying taxes for them to go get groceries. Meanwhile, Irish people that have lived there in their entire lives are ended up homeless. And if they protest, the government cracks down on them. and there's all kinds of horrible stuff. It's like the Irish government is totally turned against the Irish people, from what I've been
They're not the only ones.
seeing.
They're not the only ones.
It's
So is our
horrible.
country.
Well, it's not got that extreme here yet, thank God. But I mean, I can't believe what's going on in Ireland. It's shocking. If you look at the updates every week,
It's going
like,
on. I
wow.
know what you just described is going on here in the U.S., except that our government is hiding a lot of it. So there's a lot going on behind closed doors that we're not
Yeah.
seeing.
Mm.
Sorry, go ahead, Gorilla.
All right, so Basil says pot butter is far more healthy for you than margarine. Yeah, because
I
it
know,
doesn't
you
have
know
all
what,
that
at this
seed oils in it.
right in this stage of my life, what the fuck do I care? I might as well be drinking butter straight, right?
Just
Well,
enjoying yourself, right?
well, yeah, it might be
Yeah.
enjoyable, Pop. Like, go for it.
Well, hell,
I
hell, might as well
melted up a pound of butter and put it in the glass, and I enjoyed it.
might as well go store cocaine
Right.
off a hooker's ass.
There we go.
Well,
That's the classic Gorilla.
if I could get the doctors to prescribe it, I would.
Well,
You know,
can it be described as a painkiller too, or not?
Well, it would relieve my pain.
well, I gotta say, if they make you wait 90 minutes in the waiting room next time, you should ask them if you can get a hooker and the cocaine, and do some snorting and keep yourself occupied at least.
Yeah, exactly. And tell them, I say, when I say hooker, I don't mean any of these ugly bitches around here. I mean
Hey,
a hooker.
hey, you don't want the $20 hookers. You want the $150 hookers.
That's why I want the description level, exactly.
Prescription hookers.
Well, I did ask about trying to get prescription pot because the doctor keeps saying, you need to eat more, you need to eat more. And I'm like, I know. Isn't there any way you guys can prescribe me pot? Because I can't really afford to buy it. And that would bring up my appetite. Oh, no, I'm sorry, we can't do that.
That's
Yeah.
BS.
Yeah, if you get a little bit of cannabis going, you probably get munchies, right? So
Now,
yeah,
you got like one of the few doctors that don't do that.
you must have
I
horrible.
know, in
doctors there,
California,
Bob.
it's all over. California, I'm sure I'd have no problem. But yeah, Arizona, no, I guess not.
Jeez,
Yeah.
your doctors suck, man.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and Basil says butter is all natural. Margarine is bad for your heart. It
That
has a
is
lot of
true.
trans fat in it, which causes plaque to form the blood vessels in your heart.
And
So when
don't.
you say so trans fat, is that the saturated fat that
That's the bad.
changed its gender?
That's the bad fat that clogs your arteries.
Yeah, I thought trans fat was the one that
No.
as the regular
Oh
fat.
God,
All right, shut up.
that word has been changed forever.
Wait. Did I never upload this to Pops here?
So trans fat is like sexually confused fat.
No, it's this.
Gorilla, you must be talking out your ass because I know your mouth knows better.
Sorry, I had to play that one. Sorry. Taylor Swift's giving us the
Oh man.
three waving turquoise hands there. Yeah, Scurvy says it's just there thinking of Wilford Brimley diabetes. Diabetes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were talking about the movie. We were talking about Cocoon. Yeah, he was talking about.
Yeah,
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford's probably best remembered for all his diabetes commercials he did back in the day.
Right.
And Scurvy says, I think it's about a swimming pool that reverses diabetes.
Where it reverses aging for old geezers.
Gee, I bet you guys would want it.
I take it. It also obviously has healing properties. And if you can ever, what it'll do here on Earth is it'll heal whatever's wrong with you, and you'll get younger. But they could take you back to their own planet. Danger, danger, warning signs. If they could take you back to their home planet, they can actually reverse the age and make you young again, apparently. That's what the sequel was about.
All righty, and Scurvy says, PvP, just DM her and tell her you have grown fatigued of her. like Khan in Space Speed.
Are you talking about direct
Jill.
messaging Jill? Oh no, I could
Yeah.
not do that. I've already messaged her anyway. I just told her I don't have time and I'll have to skip. I'm sure she'll
Yeah.
be good with it.
And Daniel says hello to Pop in there. Welcome, Daniels. He says I'm home.
Oh, hail Daniel. Good to see you, buddy.
We're getting a bunch of pancakes here.
Pancakes. I got to make those tomorrow morning.
Taylor says LOL. And Scurvy here says they need to get rid of daylight savings time already. Well, the bill's been passed in the House. They just got to wait for the Senate to get it off their ass and pass it.
We've been
Well, you
talking
can't get-
about
You,
yeah.
you can't get anybody to make up their minds. There's too many states and provinces that are arguing over it. I don't think it'll ever happen.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, BC and Washington State have been talking about this for like 3 or 4 years now. Like we both on sides of the border want to get it passed, right? But of course, I guess without the feds, we're like screwed, right? You know.
Well, can't you guys do it individually there?
I think we'd probably have to get approval from the Fed government on both sides of the border. I'm guessing.
Well, the United States and states can do it themselves there, like Arizona
Yeah,
did.
I'm
But
not sure. And the provinces have some things like that too, Gorilla. Like we are all individual when it comes to like things like healthcare. Every province has its own control, but as far as time changes go, I'm really not certain. So yeah.
yeah. And Daniel's here says paranormal stream.
Yes, Daniel, that's he's talking to me. I've been talking about doing it forever, and I really need to. I need to batten down the hatches and really put my nose to the books and get that done. I promise I will, Dan, especially because I don't know how much longer I'll be around, and I do want to cover that topic before I whisk off this mortal coil, I guess you could say. But yes, I will. I promise, Daniel. I really do mean that.
Alrighty, here Daniel says I just downloaded Star Trek Fleet Command. It's a free mobile game, and so far I destroyed a bunch of Nausicaan ships. I killed so many Nausicaans already, sent them to all the Gretzar. Ah, you genocidal maniac. And Daniel says just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, just a spoonful. Okay. That's all the chats.
That's a Mary Poppins song. I need to get my umbrella out now.
Tell me, can any of you say that huge word she says all the way without messing it up?
What supercalifragilistic? It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Wow, good one, Gorilla. I'm impressed.
Well, we had to sing the one song along with how much is that doggy in the window? Arf, arf! The one with the wiggly tail. That's all I remember that song.
Coming soon, Gorilla's greatest hits on CD to the local store near you.
That's Nina's favorite song. She always sings that on Jedi Bill's karaoke stream. I miss Nina. But is there anything you guys want to add before we close this out? I know it's getting kind of late, and I've got
Nope, just join us for in the Flint or in my Flint or
in like Flint, 1967. Gorilla.
Hey,
flick your Flint.
I keep saying it over and over again. Gorilla eventually will someday get it.
Well, PvP, I only got one phrase for you. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Who sings it? Who sings it?
Meatloaf.
There we go.
Only Meatloaf. Don't go for any
Paradise by the Dashboard Light's pretty cool too.
I can see paradise by the dashboard light.
I always thought that in that video from the 80s with him and that skinny lady that she looked like she was on she looks like she was on drugs and had trout marks on her arms, and I mean she looked
she was.
Well,
no surprise, she definitely showed it.
You know, the thing is though, Pop, I think the woman on the actual album is a different woman than the one in the video. and she was a much better singer on the album, I
Romeo.
thought.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Well, I think the one in the video is his wife, but that's a whole different song. But
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
think-
I
Rick
gotta get going.
Yeah, I think the one on
Okay.
the album is Elaine Foley, and she had a solo career as well. So yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for helping me out with the chat tonight, Gorilla. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I will be there on your channel tomorrow. If I'm not, I guarantee you the only reason why I'm not is because I wasn't able to get out of bed. But I'm hoping that's not what happens, okay?
All right. Don't worry.
thank you,
sis.
everybody,
Take care
for-
of yourself.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody in the chat, and especially everybody on the panel for coming by and hanging out with us tonight. I do really appreciate it.
And Pop, let's hope you don't get this hand, if at all.
Is that the death hand? I can't see. Hold on, let me
dead
dig my
man's
screen.
hand. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Dead man's hand.
No,
Did we almost get a face reveal from sit there? We almost got it.
well, I think he's given face reveals before.
Yeah, but I'm trying to face that out because I want to remain anonymous on my channel.
Oh, that's fine too.
Oh, I already found you. I can add you on Facebook. I can tell you how too off screen how I found you. How I can find you.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
if Pops is not too tired or annoyed by me saying this for self-promotion, on my channel, Sci-Fi Sit
No,
Down,
I was going to have you guys tell us about your channels. No, it's great. Go for it, dude.
Well, if Gorilla's done promoting himself, I'll start promoting myself unless he wants me to go first.
Or you can
Go
you
for
can go after him, whatever's good.
Well, as I got, it's my usual stuff. We're watching up on Thursday. We're watching Justified on Wednesday. Reviewing the third episode of season 3 of The Waltons on Friday. The next Saturday, I do not know what we're reviewing yet. So
Is it another Crunch Stock movie?
that's Thursday.
No, Grinch Talk is on Thursday. It's my pick down, and oh, it's so cringy. But Gorilla was actually. Hey, Gorilla, I just want to mention. You mentioned you watched the first 5 minutes, and you said, "Is this like totally just a softcore porno film?" And I told you, it's like, no. There's a story, and I told you, read the thing you put, in your thumbnail, like, the under, the storyline, because it's all there, right? So there's a actually very interesting storyline. Unfortunately, yeah, probably at least 50% of the film is like people doing it, but that's just Russ Meyer at his craziest. What can I say?
Well, then you must love the movie then, PPP.
I think it's hilarious. Like, I look at it as a comedy film, but there's some definitely very cringy stuff in all through the movie, and that's why I picked it, right? Because that was the first movie that came into my mind when Gorilla said, "It's your turn." I was like, "What? It's my turn?" It's like, oh,
Oh, I
gotta
got
pick something.
I got some special stuff lined up down the way here. But so with PvP's pick here, I'm establishing a new rule on Thursday.
Uh-oh.
On Thursday, I better not be hearing any flapping, or else you'll be immediately booted from the panel.
I think if you try to do that during the movie,
I'll boot you. I'll boot you.
You'd probably die halfway through watching the film because it's just like it'd be like overkill, right?
Well, I'll be booting people. I'm telling you right now, I'll be booting people. Then.
But hey, Gorilla, you so many times on Cringe Talk, you said, "Where are the boobies? Where are the boobies? There's not enough boobies. I want boobies." So I thought, okay, I'm going to give Gorilla a damn film that has so many damn boobies all through it. He's going to go insane. And I want you, Gorilla, to do a booby watch count on that stream. Because if it doesn't get up to 100, I'll be amazed.
Hey, and PvP, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be watching my analytics. I bet you my analytics age range it's gonna drop tremendously. It's either gonna go
Well,
way
you
high
said-
because people remember it and they're gonna have flashbacks, or it's gonna go to the way younger crowd. But anyhow, let's get everybody promoted so I can go to bed.
Okay.
Are you done, Gorilla?
Yes, I'm
Go
done.
for it, Dan.
All right. To everyone on the panel and in the chat and watching the video, Sci-Fi Sith Dan. I usually cover sci-fi TV shows or movies or any other subjects, depending how versed I am in the other subjects. On my channel, I have various videos on sci-fi and TV shows. I'm planning to release some more videos either very early Monday morning or Monday afternoon. At least 2 more videos or 1 more. And I usually do my live streams on Saturdays between 4 to 6 Pacific time, just before Pop Culture's curators rumbles from the lab. And if any of you are not subscribed to my channel or want to be, every sub helps and encourages me to continue making videos and content for you guys to watch and to enjoy. If any of you are available on Saturday, if any of you are available on next Saturday, I would like the company if you guys have the time for it, unless you guys are occupied with other streams.
Absolutely.
Well-
Check that out, guys.
Well, that's one of those I'd have to change the time of my stream otherwise, because we stream at the same time. So
Yeah, on that, I'm finished, and I'll let the rock and roller PvP go if that's how Pop Culture Curator wants to do it.
Sounds good. Whatever's good for you guys.
Is it
So
my
how about
turn?
you, PvP?
Well,
think so.
my hopefully, yeah, my mic's on. Okay, good. I am still doing my rock and roll music playlists every week, working on those, and it's probably going to be, I'd guesstimate a couple of weeks before I upload a new one, because over the last weekend I discovered a honey pot. Some guy he'd put up a list of like 500 plus power pop songs on his on his list. So I've been checking out these bands, and of course they're not all gold, and I try and filter out the great stuff from the crap, because I want to present the good stuff to you guys. But oh my, I think I've still got like 200 bands to go through on that list, and I don't have time this weekend, so I'll probably try and go through the rest of those next week. And I'm guessing, to give myself a little bit of breather room, I'm guessing 2 weeks before I get the next playlist uploaded. So yeah, I'm right now I'm drowning in riches, so to speak. So many good bands. So like, I always loved the power pop because I was like, a teenager that loved the punk and new wave stuff in the 70s when I was like 18 or whatever, right? And power pop was always one of those offshoots that got overlooked by a lot of people, even though I think there's a lot of fantastic bands. So I'm going to keep compiling those, and I'll be sending one up soon. And I don't want to keep pop for too long, so I think that's about it. I'll finish here and send it on to Nemesis.
Thank you, PvP. Well, how are you, Nemesis? Would you like to share with us what you're doing these days?
I'm doing well, and first and foremost, thanks for having me on here, Pop. Really appreciate that. Love spending time with you, bud.
Always my pleasure. Always my pleasure to see you, sir. I seriously missed you. If all you guys, if I was in the same room, I'd give you all a big hug. So I do miss you guys. So thank you for being here. So yeah, go ahead, Nemesis.
It's all good, buddy. Yeah, so I'm Nemesis Veden. I do Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I do Skullgirls Mobile. So if you're into animated girls with big boobs and pop culture references, check out the Skullgirls Mobile. And if you're into Yu-Gi-Oh!, check out Duel Links. And of course, I am the co-host on the horror sci-fi stream on Pop Culture Curators channel on
Yay!
Tuesday nights.
Yes, which is an absolute delight. I love that stream. I look forward to it every week.
As do I. It's fantastic. So definitely check us out there if you haven't already. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would love to have you. And yeah, thanks to everyone in the panel, in the chat for being here and on the rerun. You guys are amazing. And yeah, thank you again, of course, to Pop. I'm thankful for all the time I get to spend with you, bud. I've missed you.
Likewise. Thank you. Okay, is that everybody? Did everybody get a chance to share their channels?
Yeah, I believe so.
I guess that means yes. Okay. All right. And thank you once again, Gorilla, for helping me tonight with the chat. It really does mean a lot. And
Yeah, no problem.
I could not have done it without you. Seriously. All right. So with that, have an amazing night, everybody. Stay warm if you have to work tomorrow. Drive safe. And peace out.